There we go. Hi, everybody. Gonna do some news today. Didn't do any yesterday, so got a good amount to cover. I'll try to do it in order from time now to backwards. So, the most recent stuff right now, which I'll start off with the weather. So, how's everybody doing? It's 8 o'clock. It is March the 30th, Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Wonderful, wonderful. Full of wonder Wednesday. So I want to show you the weather first. Let's refresh this so you can see. Got some dangerous storms going on. Woo, even some snow up into Canada. Ottawa, where they had the trucker convoy, they're getting some ice. Yuck. Sleeting. Look at this line of storms. Look how it goes from way down here all the way up into Canada. It didn't used to do that, but it's doing that way more often now. Alright, so here, let's hit play. It's going pretty fast too, because there's a lot of wind. Look, there's like 2 lines of storms here. But this is the dangerous one. So, yep, heads up, everybody. Know where you're going to go for shelter. If you're in these lines of storms, there's already been a bunch of tornadoes. Let's listen to this.
Well, we have an ongoing severe weather outbreak in parts of the deep south, the lower Mississippi River Valley right now, and basically a line of storms that's going to keep on progressing east. There's going to be a whole lot of wind damage. There already has been a significant amount,
like
parts of Louisiana, Arkansas, just as an example there through the early part of the day. And as we get deeper into the afternoon and the evening, that line of storms really comes together, and it's going to be hauling some tail. I mean, we're talking the line of storms itself moving likely over 60 miles an hour, and there will be wind gusts over 80 miles per hour along that line itself, along with the chance for some embedded tornadoes, some of which could be on the strong side. So I'm looking at you guys, especially in southern Mississippi, southern Alabama, parts of the Florida Panhandle. I'd say that's where the best chance at some of those stronger tornadoes would be. And by the time that line of storms makes it to Atlanta by the early morning, it will likely have lost some of its umph, but still the chance for some severe storms there. Still some severe storms in the forecast on Thursday, parts of the mid-Atlantic and the southeast, but certainly not as widespread. Wednesday evening, of course, definitely was the one that was forecast to be the big afternoon and evening. Okay, so here's how much rain we're expecting. Keep in mind the ground's actually still pretty soaked in a lot of these spots, so you know, we could see some flooding issues in addition to all the severe wind issues that we're going to have.
What is going on?
I can't afford streaming anymore, so.
Sure you can. State Farm has rates that fit your budget.
Well, not too much rain, but all right. So let's look at these tornadoes that have happened recently. This one was 11 minutes ago in Mississippi. So you can go to this if you have a phone, and you can add NWS Tornado to your Twitter account, and then you could know if there's a tornado coming up in your area. I'm sure other people have like alarms that go off on their phone and all of that. I'm not in Tornado Alley really, so, but we got some fires in Pigeon Forge. Let's see if there's any videos of it. See if there's any. Yeah, look at that. See, they got some fires going on. Where's Valley? The winds are just crazy. I don't know if you can hear my dog snoring, but it's... She got a lot of exercise today. She was out and about. It's not too bad. So I don't really see any videos there, but I did download I have a couple of videos of it. There's a good picture where they've been bringing bunches of buckets of water. See the line? And they got a bucket of water right there. They've been putting buckets of water on there. The skies look horrendous today from just like over whatever you want to call it, overcast. There's a good picture of it. Alright, so just be on the lookout for these tornadoes because you just never know when they're going to pop up. Let's see where else. Got Bay Springs, Mississippi, Riley, Mississippi, Lewin, Mississippi, until 7:45. That was 15-20 minutes ago. So there's not any real, like, 2-minute. When I was prepping, those were, this one was like a 2-minute warning. But I'm sure if people are in that line of storms, they're watching the weather. Alright, so hopefully everybody will be okay. I pray for angels to be sent in Jesus' name to all these southern areas. Alright, here we go. This lady here, there's some craziness going on again today with people that are just losing their mind or something. I mean, it makes you wonder. I'm not allowed to talk about it here, but makes you wonder if it has anything to do with, you know, something that they're not used to having in their body. I can't really talk about it here, but you just never know. All the pressure anyway. So much pressure on people. Got to have the peace of Christ. I don't know why that's saying that. I'm not going to do that. No freaking way. So this chick, let me try one more time. She stabbed her 3-year-old daughter to death. Maybe she's on drugs. It's the sun. Affects the heart and the mind. Huh. You know, I don't really notice things with the sun, but I have noticed that might affect the heart and the mind, but like pain in the body, I've noticed that Schumann resonance really affects me, Kay. Good to see you. Thanks for coming, Kay King. Okay, so Justine Johnson was arrested for stabbing her 3-year-old daughter, Sutton Mosier, to death. Johnson told police that SpongeBob told her to commit the murder. Oh my gosh. She's blaming SpongeBob. I'll have to tell you about that later, K King. I'll have to tell you about that. SpongeBob told her to stab her daughter, her 3-year-old daughter. Oh my gosh. I knew I hated that sponge. He immediately called the police. Okay, wait a minute. I can't believe this. SpongeBob told me to do it. Oh my gosh. All right, this is messing with me again. See if I can read it. Around 4 a.m., Johnson's brother had found a trash bag in his sister's Michigan house that had a foot sticking out of it. He immediately called the police. The day prior, the brother had been asking Johnson where her daughter was, and she told him to mind his business. He wanted to know where her daughter was. When the police responded to the home, they confirmed it was the body of a deceased child. Johnson was not in the home. Police located her at 8:30 a.m. walking on railroad tracks. When she was told that her child was dead, she showed no reaction and stated she did not want to talk about it. Police arrested Johnson. While in prison, Johnson was interviewed by CPS investigator. Johnson told her that SpongeBob told her to kill her daughter. What she did by stabbing her torso multiple times. According to the CPS investigator, Johnson was suffering from hallucinations due to heroin withdrawals and not sleeping. Johnson is being held without bail and is waiting court proceedings. Don't do drugs, kids, or you'll end up, seeing SpongeBob hallucinating, and you might kill someone because SpongeBob tells you to do it. What the heck is going on? Okay, what are they? I guess heroin can do that to you, but wow. Never done that, so I don't know. Hi, Sputsy. Good to see you. So I just thought this was a cool little stop focusing on what doesn't matter, because we're just in this world. We're not of the world. So all of this is going to go away. Faith, hope, and love. Focus on those things. To try to do those things. Speak more positive. Like, have hope. Have faith in your fellow human being. Like, give them the benefit of the doubt. Like, just be like, oh, they were just probably da-da-da. They're probably just going through a hard time. Because people go up and down in emotions and everything, because we're human. And love each other so much. Just try to show each other love so much. If we focus on that, then those things will last forever. Wouldn't that be cool? Like, to whatever we do here on earth, to be able to take that with us. I think that is so cool. I've been just like looking at that more and more. Papa Mike. Hey, Apple. Good to see you. Okay, now this is probably going to go back and forth, and I do have one with this sicko that I can't show, but I'm going to show you the link, and if you want to go see it, it just like shows his butt and maybe another girl's butt. So it's not like really bad, but I can't put it on YouTube. This one's a news person, so I can put it on. But that laptop has so much sick stuff on it. I've not seen it. But the FBI, they had to stop, they had to take breaks from it. It was so bad. All right, I'm gonna play this one now.
Multiple sources tell CBS News that the federal investigation into Hunter Biden's business practices is broader than previously known. The probe is exploring whether the younger Biden and his associates violated tax, money laundering, and foreign lobbying laws. Business records reviewed by CBS News and documents released by Republicans in Congress indicate multiple financial transactions involving Hunter Biden, his firm, and a Chinese energy company called CEFC. Republicans allege that the company is an arm of the Chinese government. In 2017, the year after Joe Biden left the vice presidency, a $1 million retainer was signed with the Chinese energy company for Hunter Biden's services as a lawyer. His client, a CEFC official, Patrick Ho, was later convicted of international bribery and money laundering charges for unrelated work in Africa. This week on the Senate floor, Republican Chuck Grassley presented financial records that he said showed six-figure payments from the Chinese energy company to Hunter Biden's firm.
Hunter Biden and James Biden served as the perfect vehicle by which the communist Chinese government could gain inroads here in the United States.
What did I do? Oh, he's like in the middle of a sentence. Hi, Boomer. Rocky Boomer. Oh, Rocky Boomer. Okay. So, what was I going to say about that? Okay, so he did some really bad things. And we don't know what they are yet, but it's bad. I'm just feeling my bones that him and Biden and all these people should be in jail for whatever it is. And did you guys see? I don't think I've played it yet. I might have it on here, probably closer to yesterday's or something, where the guy that puts the laptop hard drive into evidence or whatever, they were freaking out. There was like two people standing behind the whatever it is, the judge or whatever person, the person that's like in charge of the room that sits in the middle of the Congress. There were two people standing behind him, and you could see him just like, like kind of freaking out, and they were like, oh well, you can't add it into, I can't remember what they said, but you'll see when I get to it. Okay, this one, we'll come back to that. I'll try to find it. Let's try to get rid of Hunter Biden stuff. That way I don't have to like think about him anymore. All right, this is Commodus J. Trump, and I cannot play all of this because he's like laying on his stomach and you can see his butt. But anyway, he's with a young girl, and it's just like they're not showing anything terrible, but I still don't want to play it on here. You want the Hunter emails? Here is the mother load. So Jack Posobiec has a link for BidenLeak.com. So there's probably a bunch of stuff on there too, but I don't really care to see it, and I don't think anybody's going to get in trouble because I'm not sure about, your son if you're the president, but don't you get diplomatic immunity when you become president? I'm just kind of concerned that I'll, get invested in, hey, they're going to catch him. He's going to go to jail. And then nothing happens. So then I could get really angry. And I don't want to get angry. He'll get what's coming to him. God knows what he did. Alright. Let's see. This was something with Ted Cruz and OAC. Hunter Biden. Okay, here's something.
They know that Biden's family could crumble pretty soon, especially with these new revelations.
Could.
We're finding out today the Biden family received direct payments from Chinese oligarchs linked you know, to the highest level of the Chinese Communist Party. And this time, they can't spin this as Russia disinformation. Senators Johnson and Grassley have the receipts showing a direct $100,000 wire from a Chinese energy company called CEFC directly into the bank account of Hunter Biden's law firm. No middleman, clean transaction. Later, the same sketchy Chinese energy company wired out $1 million to another company Hunter was invested in, Hudson West 3. So Hunter took those $1 million and wired it to his law firm. So Hunter's just transferring dirty Chinese money between his two companies. But this wouldn't be Hunter's first time with CEFC. Remember that 3-carat diamond? That was a gift from the same company. Now, CEFC claims that Hunter was giving legal protection to the owner of CEFC, Patrick Ho, who's now in prison. I didn't know Hunter was a criminal defense attorney. Oh, wait, he's not. So what was he doing with all that money, representing this guy? All the while, CEFC, you know what they do? They're a front for China's Belt and Road Initiative. It's like the biggest threat to America right now. Wow. And it's not just Hunter. Joe's brother, James, was in knee-deep, just about at the same level. According to Senator Johnson, he was taking phone calls from the owner of CEFC around the same time Hunter got the $1 million wire. So Uncle Jim was involved and Hunter was involved, and we're hearing that his company also received wires from the Chinese. Those details are coming out soon. But the bigger story goes beyond Jim and Hunter. Goes all the way to the top, to the big guy. We know that Joe and Hunter's finances are intertwined. Emails from the laptop from hell showed us that Hunter's business partners at Rosemont Seneca filed Joe's taxes. Why were like H&R Block filing Joe's tax returns? Why was Hunter's people doing it? They were paying for renovations at Biden's Delaware home. Why? And even paying for Joe's private phone bill while he was vice president. Why? Why was Hunter and his people doing that? Hunter's even on record complaining about having to pay Joe's bills. Not me. The New York Times confirmed this is all true. And what about the credit card that was funding Hunter's wild nights at the Chateau Marmont? Remember where Hunter was paying prostitutes and learning how to cook crack? That credit card was linked to, quote, Celtic's account. You know who Celtic is? That's Joe. That was his Secret Service code name. One of the Secret Service agents texted Hunter and said, hey, this is going down. Look, this is linked to his account. So is it even a question of whether Joe Biden's compromised? The facts are right there. And now that the feds are narrowing down on Hunter for these tax crimes, can we be so sure that Joe won't kind of place his thumb on the scales of justice? Very tempting. Jonathan Turley is a George Washington law professor, and he's here tonight. So what do you make about these wires? And do you think that the president could be worried about this?
Well, of course he's worried about it. The laptop that they found from Hunter is basically a step-by-step description of one of the biggest influence peddling schemes in history. I mean, the fact is that influence peddling has been a Biden family business for a long time. They have been rather notorious and open about it. I mean, the Fords are known for cars and the Coors are known for beer, and the Bidens are known for influence peddling, and it's an entire family affair. And what's interesting about this is how raw and open it is. You have to keep in mind that when these companies are sending Hunter Biden, all of this money, he described himself during this period as a hopeless addict, someone who was just stumbling through life in a narcotic haze. So by his own book, account, he wasn't capable of doing much of anything. So the question then is, why are people wiring him $1 million? Why would someone like Ho, who's a hair's breadth away from an indictment, send him $1 million? Someone who doesn't do criminal defense work and by his own book seemed incapable of most anything. And the answer is obvious, and it's always been the answer with many of the Bidens, from James Biden to Hunter Biden, and that is influence peddling. But what's really troubling is this commingling of funds and references to Joe Biden. Joe Biden has already been contradicted by witnesses. He said he knew nothing of these deals. He had no involvement. Those statements are now facially contradicted by witnesses. And yet the Attorney General has refused to appoint a...
Look who's standing in the background there. Ding, ding, ding, ding. Ching, ching, ching, chong.
Special counsel. You can't drill very deeply on this without hitting references to Celtic or the big guy, code names used for President Biden. And his own Justice Department is tasked with this investigation.
They have to appoint a special counsel. It's the right thing to do. Will they do it? Probably not, but it's the only way you're going to get fair and impartial justice here. Jonathan Turley, thank you so much for Hunter.
All right, so what do you guys think about this story? How much do you think they've sold us out, huh? Think they've sold all the places in America where they're going to have maybe a Belt and Road initiative here? Maybe Lindsey Graham sold out South Carolina to the Saudis a few years back. Gave them the ability to bring in rails and different things, billions of dollars. Oh, we're going to invest billions. Why would the Saudis invest billions of dollars into South Carolina? Isn't that a very good question to ask? Maybe Lindsey Graham should be asked that question. Like when is that for? They're not doing anything yet. Are they waiting for the Build Back Better? Or have they sold all this land out? Is Bill Gates, he's not planting any crops on these farmlands that he bought. Is he holding on to it just so when they can build back better, they can have their food for the 1% or 2% that live through whatever calamities are coming on the land? And if something were to happen with climate chaos that's like fires or wars, and then you're going to demolish all these buildings and build back better, maybe those maybe all of that is part of all of this, because the Ukraine, the Belt and Road Initiative goes right through Ukraine. Let's look it up. Belt and Road Initiative map. Okay. See, here we got the east. So Ukraine is like right here. So it starts in Ukraine. Oh, okay. So it looks like parts of these down here in Africa could be part of it. I know Australia's got some of it too, but they're not showing that. Here's one. There you go. So Ukraine's like somewhere right in here. Kazakhstan is somewhere along it too. So maybe they want the road to go like this. I don't know. But they don't show America here. So are we getting one too? Or are we left out of the Belt Road Initiative? Is there no, nothing that goes through South Carolina? Nope, look, here's the world map. See, we're left out of it. They're all putting Israel right at the center. Look at that. Got all these different lettered companies that are involved. Probably BlackRock and Vanguard. I saw another one today that was like up there with those. China. China wants to, be a part of this whole new world order. You guys, we aren't told what's going on with all of this stuff. And I doubt they will tell us with Biden and his son what they're up to. Did you know there was a place called Anthrax Island in Scotland? It was on fire from one end to the other on the night of Saturday, March 26th, with eyewitnesses describing the scene as apocalyptic. I can't remember if I played something about this or not, but I didn't know it was called Anthrax Island. Wait, let's read that. Scientists conducted bioweapon experiments on Anthrax Island in Scotland. Grunard Island off the northwest coast of Scotland is uninhabited.
It was apocalyptic coming across to it, like hellfire, you can almost say. It was very shocking, especially when we actually got closer and we parked up. You could hear the birds crying and screaming.
Aww.
I think there might be oyster catchers and maybe some of the eagles kind of like nesting and laying on the island.
Terrible. During World War II, the island was the subject of a germ warfare experiment. It was soaked with anthrax spores to study the effect of the bacteria on the biology of mammals. How cruel. Anthrax is fatal when inhaled, and for 50 years no one dared to set foot on the island. After treatment with formaldehyde and seawater, it was pronounced safe in 1990. Pretty amazing, huh? Oh, they had trials in 1942.
Sheep were used for the trials because they're particularly sensitive to inhaled anthrax. They were kept at the mainland camp and only transferred to the island when required for trials.
How cruel.
The reason why everyone moves rather quickly is that this was photographed at silent film speed. The Navy helped here by providing a pretty agile. It was important to establish beyond a doubt animals contracting the disease did so by direct inhalation of the cloud from the bomb. You can see here how they were covered with fabric to keep spores off the fleece. And later we'll be seeing how they were hooded after the trial to stop transfer of spores, and how they were tethered out of reach of one another. We can have a...
Oh my God. And if it's bad, I'm sorry, I can't stand the static. If it's bad now, if it was bad then, and in the future, it's going to be even more bad, worse than back then. What are they doing? What are they doing to people? There's this website right here called Biden Leaks. If anybody's interested, it kind of goes through different things. There was one I found interesting. Hunter Biden biofirm partnered with Ukrainian researchers isolating deadly pathogens using funds from Obama's Defense Department. Where's the jail cell? Where's the mental hospitals? Why can't we get these people locked up in a mental hospital? This guy, I tell you what, Okay, after he does this, then he says something like, I don't know why I'm doing this, and he takes another vaccine. It's such the strangest thing. I'm trying to find more about Hunter Biden, but this guy's hilarious. Have you guys seen this? Alex Stein? Oh my gosh, it's so funny. Okay, hold on. Just seeing if there was anything else about Hunter Biden. I'm sure I'll get to it, but I kind of wanted to keep all the Hunter Biden stuff sort of together. Okay, that's probably it. Okay. So, here's where we are with Ted Cruz. I haven't played this one yet, have I? Nope. This one's about the border. It's 1 minute and 9 seconds. You guys
Over
doing
2
okay?
million people crossed illegally last year, the highest rate of illegal immigration in 62 years. We just passed the threshold of 1 million people crossing this fiscal year. And it's only March. These are not just numbers on a piece of paper. These are human beings. If you want to understand the crisis, come down to South Texas. Last year, John Cornyn and I brought 19 senators to South Texas to see firsthand in the Rio Grande Valley what is happening. When you sit down and talk with Texans, particularly those on the border, you understand the crisis. When you sit down and hear from Texas farmers and ranchers, moms who are frustrated, who look at you and say, you know, my teenage kids, I don't allow them to go out on our property anymore without a loaded firearm at all times. Because there's so many traffickers, it's not safe.
Yeah, and I was listening to somebody the other day. They were saying, you don't get across unless you get, like, permission by the cartels. So, you could think that they got it all under like some sort of supervision or something, but they don't. I think they've made a deal with the cartels. Otherwise, why wouldn't they just go ahead and build the freaking wall? You guys doing okay? I'm kind of in a rare form again here. We need a whistleblower like Snowden. Yeah. Oh my. Tried magnet, but not spoon. No magnet. Oh. You talking about the... You know what? Bring a magnet when you go shopping. Oh yeah, I meant to do that. I want to check and see if they got metal, and they got plastic in our food too, guys. How are we going to detect that? Oh, I should put my link over on my page, huh? Just in case. Gonna detect that. Oh, I can't wait till you hear this lady in the airplane. She's a trip, man. Got another Karen. Tell power to wake up. Okay. I guess I could put it over here too. All right. Oh, I didn't at everyone, but that's okay. If they wanna see, I've got a new thing. They can see it, I guess. I got out my garden today, guys, and I got up all the Brussels sprouts. They didn't do very good, and they've got they're starting to go to seed. What do they call that? I forget what they call that, but when they go to seed, it's done. So, you know, they only got like about I mean, it got some pretty leaves on it, but then the middle part was only like pea size or a little bigger than pea size. So I'm probably just gonna, well, I might eat them. I don't know. It was like a whole year of them, waiting on them. I just didn't get them out in time because last year my garden wasn't ready to go till later. Okay, this guy here, this is what I'm talking about. Like these people, like
over 2 million people crossed
wait,
illegally last year, the highest rate of illegal immigration in 62 years. It's only March.
Quiet down there, Ted. You had your excellent adventure. Okay, here is the race, and somebody gets punched. Like, what the heck? Look, punched him. Black guy punched the white boy. One more time. Look at that. Punched him. Like, you don't get to win. If you punch somebody, you don't get to win. I don't care if you do are a white boy, black boy playing black girl. I don't know. I can't tell if it's a boy or a girl. Does it matter anymore? They just play against each other anyway. I think they're trying to put a stop to that. Some people are trying to put a stop to it. So that was rude. Okay, this is a Ukrainian granny. She's thanking the Ukrainians.
Добрий вечір, ми з України.
At least they're happy, even though their country is being shredded.
Бабулечка, це вам дякую, вибачте, що запустили і все.
Та слава Богу. Ні, там місті.
She's not happy.
Вони просто тушать пожари, йдуть. Дома подовбали.
Тому що не бачимо пожежі.
I think he said bommy. A bommy. It was a bommy. Not Obama. A bomb. Like, but I thought she was happy. She was crying. Wow. Alright, this video shows the moment the suspect pins Chicago police officer with a car during the gunfight, and the officer is shot. Didn't have it ready. Sorry about that. What's declassified? Something's declassified? Do we get to see it now?
Eyewitness News shows the moment last night when two police officers were injured as they attempted to conduct a traffic stop in Homan Square. The driver of the sedan, who initially pulled over, rams his car towards the officers, pinning one between the squad and his vehicle while exchanging gunfire with another.
Just want to ask all of you here today to
Driver of the sedan, who initially pulled over, rams his car towards the officers, pinning one between the squad and his vehicle while exchanging gunfire with another.
Just want to ask all of you here today to pray for a complete and full recovery for our officers, and thank the good Lord that He blessed us last night in ensuring that officers were safe.
Speaking at a swearing-in ceremony for 80 new recruits at Navy Pier this morning, Superintendent David Brown.
Oh boy, look, it's Lightfoot. Whoops, sorry.
Not only addressed the incident, but acknowledged the challenges these new officers will face.
There has never, ever been a more difficult time to be the police. And yet, you're still here answering the call.
While both injured officers were hospitalized, neither sustained life-threatening injuries. Police saying one was shot in the finger while the other has a leg injury. Mayor Lori Lightfoot releasing a statement that reads in part, "I urge the state's attorney to seek the highest possible charges against this offender and for the court to keep this violent, dangerous individual off the street pre-trial." Police say the driver's weapon was recovered. He is still hospitalized in serious to critical condition. Charges against him have not yet been filed.
Lots and lots of violent stuff in Chicago. Okay. Let me just see if there's any more tornado warnings. 47 seconds ago, we got a tornado warning for Gatman, Mississippi. Gatman, Mississippi. See where it's at right there? Up in the right-hand corner. This map down here shows you a larger zoomed out view. And then this shows you a, zoomed in of that little tiny spot right there. This one was 4 minutes ago. Quitman, Mississippi. Stonewall, Mississippi. Enterprise, Mississippi until 8:30. Well, they just gave it 4 minutes ago. It's 8:47. A little late. Manville, Louisiana. Abita Springs, Louisiana until 8 o'clock. That was 4 minutes ago. 8 o'clock? That was 45 minutes ago. I guess you'll be crawling out from under your house at this point. If you're counting on this one, you might want to get a different app. NWS Tornado might not be the place for you. Yeah, because this one says till 8 o'clock. Yeah. Okay, I'm not going to do any more of those. Because nobody needs to depend on me for that. Okay, crypto expert was ambushed. He was shot 5 times at the New York City hotel in attempted robbery of his $450,000 Richard Mille watch. You have a watch worth $450,000? Well, I guess if you go around with something like that on your wrist, you might get shot 5 times. I don't know if this is gonna keep giving me commercials. If it does one more time, forget you. I don't deal with commercials very well. All right, there's that one. There's the motherlode of BidenLeak.com. All right, for those countries that have not yet condemned yesterday's terrorist attack in Israel, there were also 2 Ukrainian citizens among those killed in Bnei Brak terror attack. So here's a picture. They've got the body in a body bag. That means that they're dead. Probably the 2 Ukrainians. So this is like the 3rd terror attack in Israel in the past week. Around a week. There was a 7.0 earthquake near Loyalty Islands. There's no tsunami. There's no tsunami threat for the state of Hawaii or anything. So this is close to Australia. We'll see if this one's got a commercial. We're not going to watch commercials. We'll come back. Alright, footage shows the moment facilities of Saudi Arabia Aramco came under new retaliatory strikes from Yemen. Yeah, it's going to keep doing the same thing the other one did. Forget it. Not doing it. Okay, this one's 1 minute. Take the music off just in case they get a copyright. See there? Projectile. Something to start that fire. So, wars and rumors of wars. They might call this a rumor of war. but something obviously came down and hit that. So that to me is like war. Like this, all these fires that you see in different places, we have to question that. So this was the Saudi Arabia Aramco from Yemen. Yemen struck them. All right, this was one of the tornadoes. They were saying that the wind was like super high. A lot of strong winds with this storm system. Okay, this is Germany will soon supply Ukraine with arms worth 300 million euros. These will be drones, mortars, machine guns, armored SUVs, about 200 types of military products in total. Look at that. I wanted to get a picture of that one. Look at that. That looks mean. Weapon from Germany. Mean, mean, mean. Intentional suppression of early therapy in order to promote fear, isolation, suffering, hospitalization, and death as a means of preparing population to accept mandate genetic products. Most disturbing thing they have heard. Okay, I gotta say this little thing over here. Wait, what's this? Oh, okay, this was one of the attacks from Israel. This was, I think the second one. Okay, just want to get rid of that. Let's see. Before I play this, YouTube requires that we indicate that some opinions in this video contradict the consensus medical opinion by the WHO about COVID-19. So,
France. So we have 3 different areas showing early multi-drug therapy as an outpatient works substantially, and we've had a giant loss of life, a giant number, millions and millions of unnecessary hospitalizations. And it seemed to me, and I've told Tucker Carlson and many others, it seems to me early on there was an intentional, very comprehensive suppression of early treatment in order to promote fear, suffering, isolation, hospitalization, and death. And it seemed to be completely organized and intentional in order to create acceptance for and then promote mass vaccination.
Sure. Didn't you see Event 201? They did a kind of movie about it. It's like a fake documentary.
So now I'm going to.
All right. Biden says, "I'm not sure why I'm doing it on stage," and gets his second booster injection. Maybe this is how they get rid of him.
So now I'm going to get my second booster shot. I'm not sure why I'm doing it on stage. Just to prove I'm getting it.
Mr. President, what is the danger of Putin being left in the dark by his military advisors?
I'm reluctant to comment.
Can you comment on the declassified intelligence that he doesn't trust his military leadership since it is declassified?
No.
Mr. President, is the U.S. willing to provide security guarantees to Ukraine as part of peace talks?
Great.
Is the U.S. willing to provide security guarantees to Ukraine as part of peace talks with Russia?
Mr. President, are you going to extend Title 42?
How rude of these reporters, just like he's getting a shot in his arm.
Well, the decision on that too.
What did President Zelensky tell you about
between rich and poor countries on vaccination will impact your the fight against COVID here?
What did President Zelensky tell you
The
about?
difference between the gap.
Here, under 5, are there enough funds?
Mr. President.
Mr. President,
Are there enough funds
about negotiations with Russia?
under 5?
I've always thought that
it discourages people getting the vaccination when they watch people get a needle in their arm. So I apologize for discouraging. It didn't hurt a bit, and I was able to roll my sleeve up.
You don't have to discourage me. I'm not getting it. Gross. It's disgusting. What are you putting in your arm? You don't even know. You don't even know what is in that. It's an experiment. All right, I'm going to settle down. I get really angry about those things. How you guys doing? Did you watch? 2 different types of spoons. Don't stick. Praise God. But then I pray over everything that is consumed. Power and prayer. Amen. I tried to find one story about an MRI machine having any effect on magnetic humans, but can't find any. There, if you want to find anything, you kind of have to go to Rumble or Telegram to find stuff, because if you're looking on YouTube, you're not going to find anything. 7 hurt in Arkansas tornado, deep south, braces for storms. So we got several people hurt in Arkansas from these storms. Russians starting to withdraw from Chernobyl nuclear site. So the Russians are leaving Chernobyl. So if any accidents happen at Chernobyl, the Russians are saying, we're going out now. Don't blame us if there's some sort of nuclear leak or something. So that's just a heads up. Can you see where taxpayers would be skeptical? I mean, trillions of dollars, and all of a sudden you need billions more. Kate Bedingfield, I think taxpayers want to be prepared for the virus. I don't want you spending billions and trillions on it. No. Do I get a vote, though? I don't think so. Biden administration needs more money for Hunter. I mean the pandemic.
Right, but can you see where taxpayers would be skeptical? I mean, trillions of dollars, and all of a sudden you need billions more.
I think taxpayers want to be prepared for the virus, and they want to make sure that we have the resources that we need to keep them safe, and that's what this administration is focused on.
No.
But can you see where taxpayers would be skeptical?
Why don't you take a vote? Bet you don't. Okay, Archer Pawlowski is out of jail now. The Canadian preacher guy that got arrested several times. He's out of jail. He wants a cheeseburger. And a nice nap. A long nap. I hear that when you get out of jail that you like appreciate the sky, the grass, everything you see, like you appreciate it more. Because you've been locked up in a little box for a little while. I kind of feel that way, that we're going to be completely blown away when we get to heaven, because we've sort of been in a little prison box, haven't we, in this place? I don't even know what. Oh, this is Ukraine. There's a V instead of a Z. So these are still like really old military tanks and stuff. So I think they're just getting rid of them. They're just like destroying them. They got all new stuff now. They'll use it during the Armageddon. Well, they're all just kind of chilling, aren't they? On top of their tanks. Lots of them. It keeps going on for a minute, another whole minute. I'm not gonna. Okay, look at this. These are minefield. Look at this. These cars have to drive over that. And he's got, look, He's got a trailer on the back of his car. I'd be like, forget it. I might mess up. Boom! You know? And the person with the camera is really brave to be standing there like that. I'd get way far away. Look at the minefield. Hey! Hey!
Are you hurting, baby? What the heck? Come here with me.
Daisy, what is wrong, baby?
She's hurt.
Oh, leave her be. It's okay. Just let her be.
Dang.
Goodness.
Oh, baby.
She's wore out.
I'm sorry.
That was nutso.
I don't know if she's ever fucked it up.
That was crazy. What's wrong with you?
Так мы проезжаем дорогу, блядь.
Go to sleep.
Да пиздец.
That is so scary. Look at that. If you just touch that thing, it might go off. Can you imagine, like, trying to drive over it? Okay, I don't know if I listened to the whole thing. I don't want to put you through all that. All right, here's AOC. Oh, somebody made it private. Crap. Well, here's what it said. Ted Cruz gets up and embarrassed AOC. Man. That's too bad. Sorry. All right, 20 children, 20 plus children, hospitalized after drinking sanitizer at a preschool in Camden, New Jersey. Kids drank sanitizer, and now they're in the hospital. The sanitizer had been mixed in sealed milk cartons that the children consumed. The students were hospitalized as a precaution. No major injuries. No major injuries? What kind of sanitizer was that? We could look it up on the internet and see what kind of crap they put in there. I'm just going to look up main ingredients in hand sanitizer. Lord. I mean, you know, Clorox will kill you. Active ingredients in hand sanitizer. Warnings. You should probably steer clear of while shopping for hand sanitizer. If it was alcohol-free, then this is called benzalkonium chloride, the main active ingredient in alcohol-free sanitizer. Steer clear of that one. Hand sanitizer has proven itself useful in killing germs, but using it can have side effects. Overuse of hand sanitizer can lead to dry, cracked skin, as well as redness or discoloration and flaking. Five harmful ingredients: methanol, benzene. There's all kinds of crap in there. What if you what if you ingest, oops, I spelled it wrong, ingest hand sanitizer? Temporary blurry vision, pain, and redness. That's all that they're saying. But who knows? That might just be the temporary things you see. There might be long-lasting things. Okay, here Joe Biden saying that COVID no longer
We're now
controls
in a
our
new
life.
moment in this pandemic. Does not mean that COVID-19 is over. It means that COVID-19 no longer controls our lives. That's what it means. Cases are ticking up as we thought they might. But now, thanks to the foundation we've laid, America has the tools to protect people, all people. And, you know, as we've done from day one, my administration is making it easier than ever for Americans to access these tools. We're now in a
So it doesn't control our lives anymore as long as you keep feeding us money so we can keep giving you injections and making you like wear masks, and you know, it won't control your life as long as we get money out of you. Trillions of dollars will go into this. All right, Prime Minister Naftali Bennett says whoever has a gun license, this is the time to carry the gun with you. And there's a picture of these girls with one, you know, on their hips. That's pretty cool, huh? They're packing. Because there's been 3 terror attacks
in Australia.
In a week.
Tonight I'm...
Okay, this is... I'm not really sure why I posted this one. Senator for... Well, anyways, this is Australia. Tonight I'm speaking
to this Parliament's therapeutic response to COVID-19 and its horrific medical harm and loss of life in that response. Last week, leading Australian parliamentarians came together in an event I organised called COVID Under Question to present documented evidence and victim testimony proving a catastrophic failure of Australia's regulatory framework. COVID vaccine injuries are hidden behind anonymous government data, while COVID virus supposed harm is splashed across prime time. The very least we can do for the victims of COVID vaccines is to say their names. Victims like Caitlin Georgia Gotts, a healthy and vibrant 23-year-old studying at Griffith University to become a vet while working as a horse strapper. Caitlin dropped dead at work of a heart attack following her second Pfizer shot. Her death was recorded as asthma, a condition Caitlin has never had. Reginald Lynn Shearer, a formerly healthy, fit and active man who quickly went downhill and passed away from effects that began after receiving the AstraZeneca vaccine. Daniel Perkins, a 36-year-old healthy father from Albion Park, who died of a heart attack in his sleep following his second Pfizer injection. Douglas James Roberts died after taking AstraZeneca. His family are concerned that his GP didn't warn him of the side effects of the vaccine. In other words, no informed consent was obtained.
Nuremberg 2.
Neurosurgeons at the Royal Brisbane Hospital attributed his death to a stroke, despite no family history and a clean bill of health. They refused to report his death to the TGA. Refused. The Australian Health Practitioner Regulatory Agency, AHPRA, has been bullying medical practitioners into not reporting or even for talking about the harm they are seeing. The TGA erased 98% of the 800 vaccine deaths. 98% erased that physicians reported without autopsy or suitable, and TGA did so without autopsy or suitable consideration of all the patient medical data. TGA, ATAGI and AHPRA are the 3 monkeys of the pharmaceutical industry. Hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil. Section 22D2 of the Therapeutic Goods Act 1989 requires the Secretary of the Department of Health to ensure the quality, safety and efficacy of the vaccines were satisfactorily established for each cohort for which the provisional approval is being granted. Data recently revealed in court papers in the United States clearly shows vaccine harm was apparent in the clinical trials that Pfizer, BioNTech and others conducted. This information, if ATAGI had bothered to ask for it, should have resulted in a refusal of the application for provisional use. No data was provided to the Secretary regarding individual test subjects, technically anonymised patient clinical data. No independent analysis of the fundamental issues surrounding novel mRNA vaccines was conducted in Australia. None in Australia.
All right, so you get the point. We've heard a lot of this before, even though YouTube's pretty unaware of it. But I'm going to say the disclaimer one more time here that we indicate that some opinions in this video contradict the consensus medical opinion by the WHO about the COVID-19. Who's more corrupt? You, me, or the people who voted for us? I don't know who voted for you, really. I've had Ukrainian prosecutors fired and embezzled Chinese money for all my family, and I'm fond of young girls. I deleted top secret data, let 4 men die in Benghazi, and sold uranium to Russia, all while getting cash for access money. Plus, more. Okay, we played that one. This was 1 year ago today. Ha ha ha. She's caught.
Our data from the CDC today suggests, that vaccinated people do not carry the virus, don't get sick, and that it's not just in the clinical trials, but it's also in real-world data.
In real-world data. It's safe and effective, guys. If we need a different vaccine for the future to combat a new variant, we are not going to have enough money to purchase it. They're going to keep taking your money. Did you guys know about Bruce Willis? He can't, talk correctly right now. He's been diagnosed with aphasia, a degenerative brain condition. So, you have trouble, speaking and things like that. So, pray for Bruce Willis. Oh, you're talking about Daisy. She's out of it, man. I think she's allergic to grass too, so her eyes were all red. She's probably just completely drained. She was just leave me alone. The contents of Hunter Biden can be located at 33 Thomas Street, New York City, just in case you suddenly can't find it again. Passionate protesters take to the streets while Trudeau can hear from... Oh, this is good.
And my heart goes out to the families of those people, the families of the people who had their bank accounts frozen just for donating to a good cause, the best cause you can donate to right now, because this is our best chance and we can't let off the gas pedal. We have to keep pushing forward until Trudeau is finally gone, until Klaus Schwab is finally gone. We have to identify where the hell he is and penetrate his fucking cabinet. All right? Thanks for everyone being here. God bless. Freedom!
Isn't that great? Freedom! Okay, you get the point. Freedom. Okay, this is kind of freaky. We got Space Force in the news, and you guys, my brain, whenever I do this thing with the Space Force and the Internet of Things and the artificial intelligence and everything, I started looking into this today, and it's involved. It's involved, with NASA and the fallen ones and stuff. I mean, pretty crazy what time we're living in. Six space deltas. So that's when I went and looked that up, the deltas. 67 million for the stand-up and activation of 6 space deltas. I don't know, I just went down a rabbit trail. There's not really anything I can tell you right offhand that I was completely blown away by or anything. It was just, there was a picture that I was trying to, an image that I was trying to get, and it wouldn't let me, like, at all. There was actually 2 pictures, but I might have gotten one of them. Let's see. Here it is. There's their emblem thing. It's got to do with the stars, you know? Not just like space, like Elon Musk's thing, where everything is gonna be hooked to like the internet and stuff. And then Alex Jones was freaking me out today because he was saying like Aurora. I was looking into Aurora because there's a supercomputer called Aurora. And when I was listening to, well, I was asking questions to Alexa like 4 years ago or something like that. I was like, are you artificial intelligence? And Alexa says something, and then I had to ask her twice. And then when I asked her the second time, she goes, I like to think of myself as an aurora borealis. I was like, what the heck? Like, isn't the aurora borealis like signals and like radio frequency, different frequencies, and some of them are dangerous? I don't know what all, but okay, so then I went down a rabbit trail about the different CERNs, and Space Force had one. I don't know. I don't want to say completely like what it was about because I don't want to say it wrong. But this phone, this Aurora phone that Alex Jones is selling, that's why I went down that trail, because the guy that he had on there talking about it, 5G, right? These new phones are going to have 5G. So there's that. And then he was talking about the cryptography and stuff with the phone, that it'll be like, I mean, they didn't come out right out to say blockchain or anything, but it sounded like blockchain. It sounded like this whole cryptography of artificial intelligence and CERN, and like I didn't know until I recently looked it up that CERN actually gets all the information from the internet. But when they switch over to the, I think it's called Web3 or something like that, maybe there's a whole thing where they switch over everything again, switch it over to the Starlink. They'll switch it over to 5G. Like they're going to be turning 3G off. I can't remember what month it was. It's like the end of this year or something like that, or maybe March of next year. 3G will be done, including some home burglar systems that are on 3G, and there was something else that was on 3G. But 3G will be gone, and then anyway, this whole Internet of Things and everything in the Space Force, I think they're going to be protecting and defending, not really the nation. Like I don't know, maybe, but maybe it has more to do with the information and people being hooked into the artificial intelligence and stuff. I could be wrong, but it's all getting too sci-fi for me. All right, UK approves 2,700 refugee visas under Homes for Ukraine scheme. The UK government received 59,500 applications from Ukrainians seeking entry. So that's into the UK. And then there's a bunch of them that are being sent to Israel. And I heard a lady talking about how the Kazakhstans and all the stands, the different, Pakistan and or Zakistan, all these different Stan countries, that they're part of like one of the tribes of Israel or something, one of the lost tribes, and so they're getting them into Israel, and that could be, one of the last tribes that they need in Israel for the 144,000. We don't know, but I think that's why this whole swab the nose thing. They're getting the DNA, and they know they need the 12,000 from each tribe or whatever. I don't know. I'm just putting two and two together. Just kind of working things out in my head. Senator Rand Paul says President Biden is a national security risk after this comment. Let's see what it is. If it doesn't have 1,000 commercials.
It's 5 o'clock in Lexington, Kentucky. It's 2 p.m. in Fairview, Oregon. Welcome to the Chris Salcedo Show on Newsmax. In mere moments, we visit with the great Senator Rand Paul. We have a lot to discuss: the war, the pandemic, the politicizing of the nation's health. But first, here are your top stories. Americans want their freedoms back. And wait till we tell you which Americans these are and where
I see
they
Fauci.
are. Meantime, Biden's dangerous...
I thought he was gone.
In increased hospitalizations, we have to be prepared to pivot and perhaps reinstitute some of those restrictions.
Now, Fauci is calling for these restrictions even after multiple studies, including one from Johns Hopkins University, showing that lockdowns and other measures had little or no impact on China virus deaths. The CDC itself admits that cloth masks are ineffective at stopping the China virus.
Okay, we
To
know
his
that.
eminence, Dr. Fauci, I'd
Here's
like to
Rand
gauge
Paul.
your level of concern after Joe Biden made a series of gaffes in Putin's war zone. Biden signaled that American troops could be in Ukraine. He said the United States would respond, quote, in kind if Russia used chemical weapons. And then he called for regime change in Russia. All of those statements had to be walked back, as you know, by his handlers. Your reaction, Senator?
I think there's a great deal of evidence that he's a national security risk. We have a president who's now saying things that are alarming, that are untrue, but are also provocative. Sending the message to Russia that we're for regime change could escalate the war, could get an irrational opponent, could respond, and all of a sudden things could be out of control. So, no, they need to put better controls on the president. He needs to really read what's written for them. I think he's still able to do that, but he really should not be speaking extemporaneously, and they should avoid at all costs letting him speak his mind, because I'm not sure his mind is all there, to tell you the truth.
Now, I want to get to the U.S. response to the pandemic. We just showed that clip, all often wrong Fauci, once again talking about restrictions imposed by government in response to the China virus surges, even though we have hard data, Senator, that shows negligible to no impact for many of these restrictions. Aside from the fact that we don't suspend our Constitution in times of pandemic, can you address Fauci's insistence on doubling down on ineffective remedies?
I think the one thing is always for certain is that when he opens his mouth, that pessimism will, spew forth, but also that he really doesn't obey any of the science he claims to be interested in. If you look at the pandemic and look at the actual objective evidence right now, there's a lower incidence of the disease right now, daily incidence of the disease, than there has been since the very beginning. There's the lowest hospitalization and the lowest death rate. So all of the news we have is actually pointing towards that we really should be trying to get back to normal. But if you look at all of the different mitigation things, the little stickers to stand 6 feet away, plexiglass, cloth mask, all of this, there's no real evidence that any of it changed. And when you look at when the mandates were enforced and you look at the incidence of the disease continued to rise even after the mandates. There's no evidence that the mandates really slowed it down. Now, the one thing that is slowing it down, there's a couple of things. The virus is mutated to be less lethal. And then the other thing is most people have immunity now. If you take 1,000 people randomly and you test their blood for immunity to either the vaccine or to the disease, you find that over 95% of people have either had this disease or have been vaccinated. So really, this is no longer a novel disease, and we shouldn't treat it that way. It's a disease that 95% of us have some form of immunity, and probably means that the vast majority of those people will do well.
Okay, I'm not going to play this whole thing, but I like hearing Rand Paul. He's pretty cool. He's being diplomatic or whatever about it. He's like, well, I think he knows the truth about it. He's just like kind of putting it out there as if it really was something bad before, and now it's not so bad. I mean, he makes a good point where it doesn't matter what side you're on or whatever. It's time to let it go. Time to get back to normal. But as soon as everybody wraps their head around that, gets back to normal, Fauci says he's got a new one coming. So pandemic number 2 is on the way as soon as this one, makes its finalized, drawing all your money from, from your country. CNN, DOJ's investigation into Hunter Biden picking up steam.
This is a very real, very substantial investigation of potentially serious federal crimes. We are seeing federal prosecutors in Delaware do exactly what you would expect to see federal prosecutors do in this situation. They're talking to witnesses, they're bringing people into the grand jury, they're issuing subpoenas, and I would expect, as Evan reported, they're now gaining steam, and they need to make a decision, I think, in the at least intermediate future. This case has been going on for 4 years, and there is a realistic chance this could result in federal charges. Of course, then we'd be in unprecedented political territory, not legal territory, but a situation of having potentially the Justice Department prosecuting and trying to imprison the son of the president. Well, Brianna, this is...
So hopefully they'll keep going with this, and some truth will come to light, because that's what we want. We want the truth to come to light. Hi, Segway. Good to see you. Okay, these are the world leaders who have visited the expo in Dubai, and they postponed it because of COVID, so they just recently had it, and it's just good to watch and see which leaders, are becoming part of the Abrahamic, be more in the public in the Middle East and things, kind of socialize or whatever with, potential world leaders that the Antichrist will pick. Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, Morocco, they're part of the Abrahamic Accords. Prime Minister Aziz Ak-Hanach. French President Emmanuel Macron. Emmanuel means God with us. Belgium's King Philip and Queen Mathilde. UK's Prince William. Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan. Prime Minister of Spain Pedro Sanchez. South Korean President Moon Jae-in. Israel President Isaac Herzog. I'd like to put that one on my Abraham Accord thing. Let's see, do I have copy? Okay. 6 people were killed in a deadly pileup involving 80 vehicles on Pennsylvania Interstate during a snow squall. We watched this one 2 days ago, but I just wanted to let you know that 6 people died in that vehicle crash that we watched. And it was not 50 vehicles, it was 80. So, yeah. All right, here's this guy. You might want to hold your ears. This guy is really annoying, but this is the same guy we watched the other day. I was like, is he for real? I don't think he's for real.
Transphobia is a serious illness, and unfortunately, there isn't a vaccine for it yet. And I first witnessed transphobia when a kid wearing a racist Make America Great Again hat made fun of me and said that me being myself was a Halloween costume. The MAGA supporter. And even though Donald Trump is not in office, the disease of Trumpism has spread across our stolen land. Every night I cry myself to sleep knowing that I live on stolen Native American land. As a high school teacher, I witnessed transphobia every single day. Racist bigots! We need to teach our students and raise awareness in our schools about this deadly virus. Transphobia is a spectrum, and it can go from transphobia to transphobia with many shades and flavors in between. But what degree of transphobic are you? We have the extreme transphobic, which is Trump supporters, Nazis, KKK, Bible thumpers who believe in a sky daddy, when we clearly know that we humans used to be monkeys and came from the Big Bang Theory, which is proven science. Let's not forget, straight white males, those who say that a man will never be a woman, those who refuse to get vaccinated and obey the science. It's science, people! Obey the science! It's common basic biology! Just get the vaccine! You bigots! No! Is somebody laughing? Now we have those who are right in the middle. Are you that person who says, I have a gay friend or family member? Am I that gay friend? Do you refuse to get gender reassignment, therapy, surgery? The bottom of the spectrum is unconscious transphobia. This is anybody who is not transgender and refuses to be attracted to the same sex. I recently had a coworker who said that he was not transphobic. However, he refused to kiss me because he said he didn't swing that way. So if you didn't see yourself on the spectrum, that is the category that you are in.
Thank you. You got through it today. So that's why I put this verse. I picked this verse today. It says, therefore, if any man be in Christ, he is a new creature. Old things are passed away. And behold, all things are become new. Once it was my working, his it hence shall be. Once I tried to use him, now he uses me. Sometimes these things are kind of weird. So anyway, being a new creature in Christ, you can be transformed. You know, get it? Transgender, transformation. You can be transformed by the renewing of your mind. So, and if you know anybody that's a transgender, just let them know, like, God is going to transform us. We're going to get a new body, and God says to be holy as I am holy. So, just whatever gender he gave you, stick with it. It's only for temporary. It's just a temporary tent. Just be who God made you, and don't try to be something that you're not. That's my advice. Okay. Ukraine claims to have captured elite Russian sniper Irina Starkova. But, last week there was another sniper that they said was dead. And then he came and did an interview with the Chechen guy. So he's not dead. So we don't know if she's dead or not. But it's possible. Oh wait, captured. She might be captured. Okay. This is the Russian Federation guy. Russia threatens to cut global food chains and create a hunger tsunami. So that's what we're looking at, guys. A hunger tsunami. And we know, according to the Bible, that there's some people that are saying that the 4 horsemen are riding. And I kind of beg to differ, because the second horse is the red horse, which is war. And it says there will be slaughter everywhere. That means like everywhere. And we are seeing slaughter, okay, in Ukraine. But we're not, it's not a global kind of, unless the horse takes a while to get around the world or something like that. But I think what it is the conquering happens. I don't believe you can say that the world has been conquered and that they're, for open borders and all that, but there is hesitation and everything still. There's still it's not open everywhere. They are stopping people from, moving around and stuff like that. And in my opinion, I think they're, probably giving them the vaccine. So they're going to be tracked and, they're going to be traced. So anyway, the first one, conquering, that hasn't happened yet. The world's not conquered, not quite yet. In my opinion, the horses haven't started to ride. But we're seeing shadows of it. Shadows of things to come. But I just wanted to say that. So there's going to be shadows of food crisis, famine, the black horse. But when it really actually happens, people will probably eat each other. Well, you could say like Venezuela, they probably are. Okay, here's another comedian. This is funny. Okay, let's see. This one's pretty good, but there's another one that he did. Okay, we'll just play these right here first. This one's not as good, I don't think. And it's 2 minutes. That's how long they give them at the podium. Do you guys like these? I think it was the day before yesterday. I didn't do anything yesterday.
Child grooming, you want these kids to all be gay. Why is that you need to bleed today? I don't want these kids to grow up gay. A crime type 99, listen to what I say. Stranger, you have no hair. I sit up here and I really care. I see you need to really leave. Take your money and buy a weed. We want you out. Yes, I shout, 'cause I feel the truth. And the song is the proof. You got to go. Walk through that door. We don't.
It's okay. It's not that great. So here he is on Tucker
They give us the
Carlson.
crack pipe all day long, yet on that same laptop, there's supposedly child pornography on it. And these people don't care. Look at Ketanji Brown Jackson, who's about to be nominated to the Supreme Court. She's easy on child pornography. Do you think that's an accident, Tucker? None of this is done on accident. It is a purposeful destabilization of the middle class. And that's what I am. I'm a middle class person trying to save it. And I'm not here to virtue signal. I'm just saying I'm tired of being tinkled on and the government telling me it's raining.
Well, I agree with that. And you don't need to be a
Tucker
meteorologist to know when you're being tinkled on.
Tucker doesn't sound very good, does he?
And you don't need to be a meteorologist to know when you're being tinkled on, I would say.
You
So
really
what,
don't. No.
What's the response? You sort of have, as you watch the city council members, a little bit of contempt because they should know this is, they're being played. But you also feel a little sorry for them because they're totally overwhelmed. Like, what do they say to you?
Well, that's the thing is when you go to these meetings, Tucker, a lot of times people are nervous at the podium. I see people talking about how Child Protective Services took their kids or their neighbor's house caught on fire and their house got burned up and nobody's helping them. So people are nervous. So what I try to do is I try to put the heat on them. I want to make the politicians nervous of what I'm going to do. And the reason why is you go out there and all day long the news is going to tell us about the border between Ukraine and Russia. But I'm in Dallas, Texas, and the border between Texas and Mexico right now is just being flooded with sex trafficking, with the Chinese fentanyl that I've had friends and family die of. So the real war is right here in America, yet that this Biden administration wants to just confuse us and make us think that it's a valid excuse to go fight World War III, yet the military-industrial complex just lost a 20-year war in Afghanistan, and now they're chomping at the bit because, Tucker, the reason is our country is not being run by human beings, it's being run by multinational corporations that actually want to destabilize America in order to gain a global control, and that's what's happening. You look at these companies like Halliburton, you just look at all these companies that are destroying America on purpose, in my opinion, Tucker.
So you're not going to be on YouTube long, obviously. So I would just recommend to our audience. No, you're not. No, you're not. Yes, they are. Yes, they are, Alex Stein. So if you want to catch the art he's already created, do so now. Thanks for joining us tonight, Alex Stein. Good to see you.
Thank you, Tucker. You're a hero. Hey, Tucker, one last thing. Everybody says I'm baby Tucker, so if you're willing to submit to a DNA test and prove you're not my father, I would appreciate that because we're both good looking, we're both funny. We might be related, and you're my hero. Thank you, Tucker, again.
I don't think I'm old enough, but I...
That guy's funny. I like him. Yes. Praise the Lord for keeping our police safe because they're going to hopefully protect us in the future. I hope. Let's see what this one was. This was some vehicles that got targeted. That's a lot of vehicles, though, or something. They're really demolishing them. Maybe they were carrying munitions or something. Maybe that's why the fire was so bad. I don't know. Alright, did you guys know that Dr. Fauci is the son of the largest child trafficker on the planet? I don't know if that's true or not, but that's maybe his mama? Kind of looks like him, don't it? So I guess she's a child trafficker. I didn't know. Alright, this is a really cool thunderstorm. You want to see? Look at that. Wow. He said that was the coolest one he'd ever gotten on video. It goes upward instead of downward. Day 35. Rocket artillery fire in Kyiv now. Russia's not letting up, so Ukraine and West must move fast to number 1, fast-track weapons and jets. Number 2, stop buying Russian oil and gas and make Putin a pariah. Don't give him the chance to regroup. Redeploy, keep bombing, never believe the Kremlin. So there you got somebody's opinion. Austin Airport warns it may run out of jet fuel in Texas. What? I thought Texas was like the place of fuel. Oil. With 282 flights scheduled for today and 1,600 more passengers flying out before 8 a.m. than we typically see, it's a busy day at AUS. While operations have returned to normal, we continue to ask passengers to arrive a minimum of 2 hours in advance, now through early April. I don't know why. They're just maybe because of Russia's fuel. I don't know. The crush of passenger was so dramatic that security lines stretched outside and onto sidewalks, and long waits meant many missed their flights. The Austin American Statements newspaper reported. For now, the imminent fuel shortage hasn't translated into actual groundings, according to Bloomberg. American Airlines flight schedule has not been affected by the shortage, a spokesperson said. The supply squeeze wasn't expected to impact Air France. Inaugural nonstop flight to Amsterdam. So it looks like they're running out of fuel. PA court ordered 5 members of Westchester ASD board be removed from their positions immediately for continuing to force kids to wear their masks, even though the mandate was lifted. So they're still making people wear a mask, even though they're like, you don't have to wear a mask anymore. You're still making them do it. TTP claims 10 attacks in Pakistan in 48 hours. So Pakistan is having attacks. Lots of attacks in Pakistan. What are tactical nuclear weapons? I'm going to let the dog out while you guys watch this one.
Missiles, which are otherwise... Everyone is talking about tactical nuclear weapons. What are they, and could Russia actually use them on Ukraine? Tactical nukes are small nuclear weapons that can be used over relatively short distances, which differentiates them from strategic nuclear weapons. Strategic nuclear weapons, or the so-called city busters, are launched from long distances and are highly destructive. During the Cold War, the US and Soviet Union possessed them and could launch them from long distances into enemy territory. Estimates suggest that Russia has about 2,000 tactical nukes that are being kept in facilities across the country. They're deployed on different types of missiles, which are otherwise used to launch conventional bombs. Russia has 2 missiles which can be used to fire these short-range nukes: the Iskander-M ballistic missile, which has a range of 400 to 500 kilometers, and the Kalibr missile, which has a range of 1,500 kilometers. Tactical nukes vary in size and power. The smallest can be just 1 kiloton or less, while the larger ones can be as big as 100 kilotons. They are versatile and can be launched from air, sea, and ground. In 1945, the strategic nuclear bomb dropped in Hiroshima was 15 kilotons and killed almost 146,000 people. Experts say that Moscow is likely using nuclear escalation messages to instill fear and to deter the West and NATO from intervening in Ukraine. It is employing the so-called theory, escalate to de-escalate, to force its enemies to back down in battles. But some are worried that in certain conditions, Russia might be tempted to use smaller tactical weapons at sea or in a remote uninhabited region of Ukraine to force President Volodymyr Zelensky into surrendering.
All right, so you're going to start using those tactical small nuclear weapons probably. U.S. President Joe Biden has signed legislation making lynching a federal hate crime. The weapon of racial terror has been outlawed after at least 200 failed attempts over more than 100 years ago.
Rise and control the black population. It's been
Yikes.
described as a uniquely American weapon of racial terror, and the US may finally be taking steps to confront it. Lynchings were historically the public killings of individuals with no due process by lawless mobs or gangs. Lynchings in the US were also often advertised spectacles, attended by white people, to celebrate white supremacy and to terrorize and control the black population. Law enforcement personnel were also often present at lynchings. A typical lynching involved accusations, an arrest or the detention of a person, and the assembly of a mob, who would then engage in physical torment and murder. Lynchings involved hanging, mutilation, decapitation, and desecration of bodies. In some cases, victims were even burned alive. Images of lynchings were also often sold as postcards and souvenirs. Around 4,743 lynchings were recorded in the US between 1882 and 1968, but historians believe the true number of cases was underreported. Although lynchings steadily declined, black people in the US continue to be victims of white supremacist hate crimes. The 1998 killing of James Byrd in Texas and the 2020 murder of Ahmaud Arbery are cited by the NAACP as modern-day examples of the barbaric practice of lynching. Now, for the first time, the US is making lynching a federal hate crime, after more than a century of around 200 failed attempts to introduce such a law. The Emmett Till Anti-Lynching Act carries a maximum sentence of 30 years and is named after a black teenager whose brutal killing in Mississippi in 1955 galvanized the US civil rights movement. Till was kidnapped and murdered several days after a white woman, Carolyn Bryant, accused the 14-year-old of flirting with her. Till's mother famously insisted that her son's mutilated remains be displayed in an open casket to show the world what had been done to her boy. 6 decades later, Carolyn Bryant admitted that her accusations of Emmett Till grabbing her and using vulgar language were not true. The new anti-lynching bill makes it possible to prosecute a crime as a lynching when a conspiracy to commit a hate crime results in death or serious bodily injury or harm, according to the bill's champion, Bobby Rush. The US House approved a similar measure in 2020, but it was blocked in the Senate. Black people have accounted for 70% of the victims of lynchings in the US that occurred between 1882 and 1968. They continue to remain the most targeted group in the US, making up around 34% of victims of reported hate crimes in 2020, with the majority, or 55% of perpetrators, identifying as white. It involved hanging, mutilation, decapitation, and desecration of bodies.
Again.
In some cases, victims were even burned alive. Images of lynchings were also often sold as postcards and souvenirs. Around 4,000.
There you go. 4,700 lynchings. I've never heard of lynchings like in our day, though. Like, recent history. I wonder why they just now decided to sign a legislation. Why didn't they do it a long time ago? It's terrible. People are so cruel. Like some of the things that I've seen with Ukraine, like them tying people to the posts and stuff like that. I mean, I guess that there's no jails right now, but still, like, I don't know. I just don't like the cruelty of people doing things to each other like that. Israel is currently facing I was also watching a thing this morning of the black Israelite people, and they said a few things like about Jesus that I couldn't believe. They said where it says he has hair like a lamb, like a lamb's wool, it says white like a lamb's wool. They're like, whose hair is like lamb's wool? Ours, black people's. And then they were like, his eyes are like flame of fire. And he says, when black people drink, their eyes get red. And then he said, the feet are like bronze. And he was like, who's tan like bronze? And I was just like, wow, you've really stretched to make sure you think that Jesus was black. He was so he was tan, right? He had olive skin, but I wouldn't say some black people's skin is all kind of color, I guess. I don't know, but it was just like, wow. And they were like, we're special, you're not, telling it to a Muslim guy. I was just like, wow. It's amazing because we're grafted in to the vine. I mean, you know, we're part of the family of God. So we're just as special. But then the Jews in the end, there is something about it that I don't quite understand. But I do know that Jesus loves me so, so much. And I am going to heaven and I'm going to be up there. But if you hate your brother, I don't think you get to go. So you might, if you're a black Israelite, you might want to, you know, read the parts about how Jesus commanded people to love one another and to love God. I mean, not that you would be able to do that even perfectly, but if you're not practicing that, then you might be in trouble. You might get a whooping. Israel's currently facing a new wave of terrorism. Prime Minister Naftali Bennett said in the aftermath of 3 terror attacks that claimed 11 lives in 1 week. So we've had another terror attack. I have a video somewhere of it. It's not violent or graphic or anything. So reportedly, equipment was seen in Gomel, which was returning back to Russia. This reminds us the video a few days before the war, which showed the supposed return of Russian troops from the military drills. A lot of people are saying like Russia's going home and things like that. I don't think so. I think they're just like maybe regrouping or whatever. I think they sent their lowest, from what I've heard, I don't know for sure, but their lowest qualified people in first and their oldest equipment in first. And now we've not even seen the beginning of this, in my opinion. Who wants Chinese New World Order? Russian FM hauls China as part of emerging a fairer world order. So they're definitely working on their New World Order. There might be 2 groups of people. Like you got the Europe, America, maybe Australia, maybe the Netherlands up there, Finland or whatever, those up there. Maybe Sweden, maybe those up there, part of the, you know, the New World Order. And then you've got China mixed with Russia and Iran and India and maybe Turkey. I don't know where Turkey stands. But anyway, I think they're kind of competing, but they're playing a game. And they know they're playing a game with each other and all that. And we're just not included in the decision making about all of it. They're just evil leaders playing games. Okay, this was some footage that
tonight
was
for the first
released of a deputy. This was some released footage.
time we're seeing the dramatic body camera video showing the moments before a St. Lucie County Sheriff's deputy is stabbed in the neck after responding to a crash. WPTV's Ryan Hughes walks us through the video and has more from the deputy's doctor on his recovery.
See how she's got her hands behind her back? Watch out for people that have their hands behind their back. You don't know if they got a gun or a knife.
What's going on? Man, stop real quick.
Newly released body camera video reveals the first moment St. Lucie County Sheriff's Deputy Cody Colangelo.
Were you just in a crash? Ma'am, come up here. Don't walk away.
Came into contact with Leah Day down an embankment near the water after investigators say she crashed her car on South Indian River Drive late Wednesday night.
Walk upstairs, all right? Let's get out this water area.
The 21-year-old suspect is crying and says she's scared. Then, seconds later, the sheriff's office says she pulls out a knife and stabs the deputy in the neck, nicking his carotid artery, a major vessel.
Usually, people don't do well with that injury.
But Deputy Colangelo is being praised for using his training to save his life, applying pressure to his neck while chasing after the suspect and calling for backup.
Of all the things, that's probably the thing that was the most important maneuver before he got here.
The 22-year-old deputy was rushed to HCA Florida Lawnwood Hospital, where Dr. Christopher Bennett performed an hours-long surgery using a vein in the deputy's leg to help repair the wound in his neck.
So we took a piece of that and used that as a patch and oversewed the hole that was made from the knife.
Investigators believe Leah Day may have been under the influence. She faced a judge Friday and is now facing attempted murder charges. Dr. Bennett says Deputy Colangelo is lucky, and had he been stabbed 2 to 3 inches lower, the outcome could have been much different.
If the knife had a downward trajectory, very, very different story. He probably wouldn't have made it to the hospital.
Deputy Colangelo was discharged from the hospital Friday morning. He's now resting and recovering at home. He has an incision on his neck, but the doctor says he should be fully healed in just a few weeks.
Oh, wow. He's still alive after that. Amazing. He's lucky. Well, Lord help him to realize how he's lucky. He had an angel, or he had that girl do it just the right way. That was in Florida. Not sure what part of Florida, but St. Lucie County. Okay, here's the one of the videos of the terror attack in Israel. This is the third terror attack in 1 week. Explosions in Belgrade, probably an ammunition warehouse. Kind of looks like fireworks, doesn't it?
Там вообще.
Okay, that was Will Smith. Okay, the Russian ruble. Look at that, how it goes way up. I heard something today about them, like maybe it's based on gold or something. And then Israel, I think, or who was it? One of the countries was saying how they were going to... Oh, the Vatican. The Vatican was buying a whole bunch of Russian rubles so they can get gasoline. And did you know that in the UK, they're paying like $10 a gallon right now for gasoline? That's crazy. All right, here's a story about... How are you guys doing? I haven't been reading the chat very much. Must have been something to it then. I don't think it was the Canary Island. It was the one that looked like a nuclear explosion. 6 space deltas. Robots. 6 space deltas. Yeah, the deltas. I don't know what that's about. I mean, they're keeping it all hush-hush with the Space Force. But they're all, you know, doing things up there that have to do with the Internet of Things. So the Space Link or Starlink. Was it the Tonga? That's right. I'm catching up. Only 35 minutes behind. Oh, you're behind. You can hit the fast forward button or the listen to me more fast. Oh, she can't because she's like behind. Duh. Some of those look like weapon depot strikes. Here, maybe she can see me typing. Use the speed up button. Okay, baby found dead in McDonald's bathroom, guys, in Phoenix, Arizona. It's locked. They got these people's faces all blocked out. Okay, they got her blocked out. That's probably the killer right there. Maybe. She's gonna go in there and she's gonna come out screaming, I bet. No? She looks... Is this the girl? Huh. I don't know. Did she go in there pregnant and then come out? I don't know. Oh, they made this one private. Man, that's twice now. I'm going to have to get onto these stories right when they happen, or I'm not going to get to see the stupid videos. Well, anyway, somebody left their baby in there or killed the baby in there. I won't even know now. There's no... The baby's remains were found. Authorities are investigating after the remains of a male infant child were found in the bathroom of a restaurant in West Phoenix Sunday. That's all it said. Terrible. Oh, I saw a lady yesterday. She had a little baby in the bathroom, and she was just so precious, this little baby, just like maybe, just looked like a newborn. And I was commenting on how beautiful her baby was, and she said, I said, is that your only child? And she said, I've got 8. I was like, wow. And she said that she had triplets. The last ones were triplets, and she was showing me the baby's scar on the belly, and that the intestines didn't, they weren't closed up when the baby was born. So the baby almost died. It had, it was, leaking out into the abdomen or whatever. And so she was saying that this was it's either its second or third surgery for it. So she was saying it was, a miracle that baby, lived and everything. It was only weighed a pound when it was born. So it was just it was just cool. I told her how blessed she was, and that, just really cool. Anyway, South Korea says it successfully test-fired a solid fuel space projectile. What is that? A solid fuel space projectile. This is South Korea. And amid its project to deploy military surveillance satellites. Okay. So they're all doing it. There's South Korea putting up surveillance satellites up into space, or so-called space, into the atmosphere. The meeting between Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi and his Russian counterpart Sergei Lavrov has begun in Tunxi in East China Anhui province. So there's Wang Yi, and here's Sergei. Oh, Lavrov. Sergei Lavrov and Wang Yi. What names? And they're bumping their limbs together. Okay, I'm getting silly. Russia, China meet to plan for Afghanistan. So, look out, Afghanistan. You know, we left you all those weapons. What you gonna do with the weapons now? What are they doing at the table here, Afghanistan? Are they contemplating your demise? Or are you going to be at the table? The wind is picking up. We've got about, I don't know, a couple hours or so, maybe 3 hours, something like that, before we get hit with the storm. So it's going to probably really get windy out here. The world's getting sicker. Yes, it is, K-King. It sure is. Alright, here's some more fighting going on in Ukraine. Poor dogs. That's gotta be tormenting those poor animals. That was in Horlivka. Russian strikes in the Khmelnytsky Oblast last night. So this was 18 hours ago. That's a pretty good amount. Bam. Do you guys feel like this is just the beginning? Or do you think that this is going to wrap up? Because I'm wondering. I think it's going to keep going. I think it's going to ramp up. Okay, this was from the terrorist attack in Israel.
2 بسوق محنيود انطخوا بجريهم ولا إلهم إشي بس عشان تفتيش. هلا 2 بسوق محنيود انطخوا بجريهم ولا إلهم إشي بس عشان تفتيش.
See her, she's like, you can't be here. You can't be here videotaping what we're doing anymore. They're wanting to make it like illegal for us to videotape the cops and doing their job.
If we had done a bill that prohibited talking about the abuse of Uyghurs in China, Disney would have supported that legislation because they don't want to say a word about that. So it's just an odd manifestation of their corporate values that they actually do Disney cruises, Tucker, to the nation of Dominica, which criminalizes homosexuality. So they're fine doing that and lining their pockets. They're fine lining their pockets from the CCP and all the atrocities that go on there. But it's those kindergartners in Florida that they really want to have transgenderism as part of their core curriculum in school.
And talking to kids about their genitals. Like, I thought that was, I'm not a lawyer, I thought that would be a crime, right? No? It should be?
Tucker, I mean, I think about when I was in school, we just did schoolwork. You know, we did things like math and science and reading. I don't even know how this would become fodder for a second grade classroom. And so the fact that they're going to this lengths to try to torpedo legislation that I think 90% of parents probably view as just common sense, it really makes you wonder, you know, about what's motivating this decision making.
It really does. And just to be clear, final question. I read the bill. It doesn't say anything about gay marriage, does it? Is it not an anti-gay marriage bill?
Tucker, the word gay is not in the legislation.
Right.
So they say it's banning a word that literally isn't even in the legislation. It's not even like they're misrepresenting the way the word's used. It's not even used in the bill. It's a fake narrative. It's a lie. But it's a lie because they have to lie, because if they admitted what they were really for, sexualizing kindergartners and first graders, they know that would not fly with the public.
Man, you got a lot of huevos to do this, and I appreciate it. And I hope all the other cowards sitting in governor's offices around the country watch this. Ron DeSantis, thank you.
Thank you.
That's funny. I'm not going to comment on that. I'll get myself in trouble. Tell me this traitor security clearance has been revoked. He openly conspires with the enemy when the U.S. is attempting to steer clear of a war with Russia. Trump calls for Putin to release dirt on the Biden family right now, since now he's not exactly a fan of our country during new interview with Real America Voice. It's 38 seconds.
This. And one thing while I'm on your show, as long as Putin now is not exactly a fan of our country, let him explain because Chris Wallace wouldn't let me ask the question. Why did the mayor of Moscow's wife give the Bidens, both of them, $3.5 million for them? That's a lot of money. She gave him $3.5 million. So now I would think Putin would know the answer to that. I think he should release it. I think we should know that answer. Now, you won't get the answer from Ukraine. And
what was all that about, all that money? We want to know. China, Russia warn of a coup in Pakistan. So there's a lot of skirmishes or whatever going on right now in Pakistan. And say they will support the government if there's U.S. intervention. They listed a bunch of different cities and stuff in Pakistan that were trending, and one of them was Karachi. All right, we are going to take the Hunter Biden laptop, the most suppressed information in the world, and put it in the official record for everyone to see and make your own judgments. Ooh. For everyone to see?
So Matt
Oh.
Gaetz did what Matt Gaetz does best. He threw the Democrat-controlled committee for an absolute loop. Watch this.
Watch this guy next to
I
him
seek
laugh.
unanimous consent to enter into the record of this committee the contents of Hunter Biden's laptop, which I'm in possession of.
He kept asking the guy, do you know where it is and all this? He had it.
Well, so Jerry Nadler, you didn't see it there, but he didn't know what to do. So he goes and starts asking staff to be bailed out. What do we do? Well, ultimately, Matt Gaetz succeeded in his request. So now, all those photos of what looks like a sex-crazed drug abuser and all those emails that sure looks like a president's son profiteering from his father's position of power, heck, his father profiteering from that position of power, are now officially in the congressional record. Well, please welcome to the program Republican Congressman from Florida, Matt Gaetz is with us. Matt, that was some showing there. One heck of a hearing.
So the way these hearings work, after they are concluded, about a week occurs for materials to be gathered and bound together, and the committee issues a report based on that particular event or hearing or markup. Now, we are going to take the Hunter Biden laptop, the most suppressed information in the world, the information 51 intelligence officials said was Russian disinformation after, of course, the New York Times said that was baloney. And we are going to put it in that record for everyone to see, to make your own judgments. And this isn't just because I have some personal curiosity in Hunter Biden's activities. It's because Hunter Biden could be a point of vulnerability for our country. The deals, the schemes, the kickbacks. You don't think the Chinese and the Russians and who knows who else could use that to compromise the first family and to get them to act in their interest instead of the American interest. So I'm here for turning all the cards on the table face up, and that's what we're going to do.
So Matt Gaetz.
If it works, I'll call him a hero. If it doesn't work and he gets away with it, then I'll just be like, it's a game. Right now, I just think it's a game, but we'll wait and see. All right, this was the lady that I made a picture as my thumbnail. So here's this lady. She gets kicked off this. I don't know what we talked about today midday. I forgot. You can tell them if you want.
She has called me names.
All right, yeah, watch this first though. This is funny. It says she's calling me names and assaulting me. They're on an airplane, okay?
She has called me names and insulted me just for sitting down in the seat saying that I came here to celebrate today.
Is there going to be a problem? No, I would like for him to change seats with someone. No, I'm going to get somebody. Well, you don't have that right. So I will get somebody to come and talk.
You pretend you have the moral high ground, but you put that man's finger on the nape of your butt. That man doesn't believe in climate change. Do you believe in gravity? Did you know gravity is just a theory?
You have your belongings when you come. But that's it. We're gonna have to take you off this plane right now. You have your belongings to come, please. Please. You have your belongings to come.
I paid for this seat and I'm sitting here. He is in my space.
She's called the hostilities.
These are one or two ways like that. I need you to grab your belongings and come. Right there. That's where the plane. Transportation police.
I'm going home now. My mother-in-law, his mother, died. You had to be here. I'm going home. There is no way I'm getting off this plane. Fine, I'll be quiet. I'll just drink. I'm going to be important in my own bed tonight after we get my mother-in-law's.
Unfortunately, not on this plane. We can get you rebooked on something else and see what else we have. I can't be on this.
My husband lost his mother. Have some respect.
And I'm terribly sorry for that, but that does not give you the right to treat me the way you treat me.
What if we trade seats and she quiets down? How would that be?
I'm telling you at this point, the captain is already getting called. It's no longer.
Captain doesn't have generally still on what y'all say.
Let's try that.
Please ask him again if we settle down, if that can be okay.
My husband lost his mother. Sorry. My husband lost his mother. Have some respect.
What if we trade seats and she quiets down? How would that be?
I'm really at this point.
Oh my God, this lady's gonna get thrown off the flight.
Captain doesn't have generally still on what y'all say. Please ask him again if we settle down, if that can be okay.
No.
Look at her. She's still biting his head off. Shame on you. Shame on you.
Man, we're waiting on you.
I'm American. You're a citizen.
USA!
I mean, I get a whole row to myself.
You earned it.
You're buying drinks.
That was so great. Oh, I love these little intermissions. Okay, so what you guys think of that? This is stuff I love sharing with you, but I mean, we gotta look at the terrible news too. I'm sure it ruined her whole day. I shouldn't be laughing, right? About the mining with no suburban holdups, like flatten everything so they can get to the mining of minerals. Main reason for the war. Oh, yeah, the stuff under the ground. Yeah, we were talking about that. Like gold or whatever, uranium. And then they can just, build back better. Russian media released a map of the targets in Finland. So, and warn of a nuclear attack in case of in case the country of Finland joins NATO. So Russia's like saying, hey, if you join NATO, looky here, we know right where your nuclear plants are. What the heck? Like, I think they're doing that too. I think they're threatening with the nuclear plants. I wouldn't doubt that a bit. Finland president says his country is ready to discuss NATO membership. So get ready for that. So another thing I was thinking about was the oil and the wine with Europe, and how Russia might try to take out the oil and the wine, because they've got oil and wine, a lot of it, a lot of wine in Italy and in Europe. Is the New World Order still considered a conspiracy theory? I mean, they're all talking about it now.
And the title of this session, are we ready for a new world order?
So it's not a conspiracy theory, okay? This is the guy who had Hunter Biden's hard drive for a year, never said a word about it to anyone, and let Donald Trump be impeached and put on trial in the Senate. He did this knowing that the contents of the hard drive would prove Donald Trump's complete innocence. I don't know who this guy is, though, whoever had the laptop, but just thinking maybe they might put it over here. We can trust Todd Bowles. I don't know if that's Todd Bowles. So anyway. Alright, here is a robot dog that is enforcing the lockdown in Shanghai, China.
请消毒，少聚众，请通风，科学防疫，文明随行。戴口罩，勤洗手，测体温，体温。
Go inside or I will bite your ankles. I have another shot for you in my armpit, says the dog. I mean, what if they do have a way of, like, stabbing you with something? This was something about LGBTQIA. Have you ever heard of that? QIA? LGBTQIA? I didn't know they were adding more letters yet. I really don't want to listen to her. I know they're all trying to, like, sexualize our kids and just make everybody immoral, and I'm not listening to it. CDC tells New York Times it hid COVID data for political reasons. You hear that? CDC told the New York Times that it hid COVID data. Not for, some sort of medical reason, but for political reasons. We live in such an upside down world. This is just so crazy. Okay, okay, this is something about orgies and cocaine. I'm not reading that crap. All right, the People's Convoy meeting just said there's no morning meeting tomorrow. Oh, okay, they're going home. Convoy for United States, they're going home. They've done their laps around the Beltway. They had their talk with Ted Cruz. They kept it small. They kept it very tight with no infiltrators or whatever. I think it was just, here's ours. This is how we're going to handle it, so nobody else gets an idea of doing a grassroots trucker convoy to the Capitol. This is ours. This is our United States one. So they just did it real crappy like. I hated it the whole time. Like, just started out like crap and then it finished like crap. And then Ted didn't even like go around the Beltway. He just like went down into the city. They had a flag that they were going to fly or something, which I didn't even see anything about that. I don't know. All right. Could open small boutique New York man guilty of swiping $200K in Chanel bags from Soho store. So the thievery just keeps on coming. Can you imagine, like, if Planet X or whatever is like, because I went over to Paul Begley's Patreon thing and I saw the Planet X picture on Patreon. Do you guys remember the planets that they were showing for Planet X, but it kind of had like spotty stuff all around it and it was huge? Well, this one's huge too, but it's further away. It's like behind the sun, but I don't know. I don't think it's I don't think it's real. I think they're just doing the blue beam stuff. I don't think it's real yet. I mean, if it is, I'm wrong, but I had a dream about Planet X twice actually. 2 separate dreams. One of them, I saw electricity. Like 3. Let me show you what it looks like. Not a very good drawer. So it's kind of like, that. It was like electricity, like all over the planet. Big electricity. It wasn't like, oh, a little teeny tiny thing of like a little. It wasn't like, like that. It was like all over the whole thing. But it was like 3. And then the other dream that I had, that was the one that was up close. The other one that I had, it was further away, and it was like clouded, just like really cloudy, like clouds. But I don't know, it's been a while. It's been a long time ago that I dreamt about it. I haven't had any new dreams of that. But can you imagine when it gets here how people are going to act? They'll be like, go get the Chanel bags? They won't get Chanel bags. They'll go get pharmaceuticals or something. Like, I don't know what they'll get. A car. They'll just go for it. They'll be like, I'm gonna steal a really fast car, and I'm gonna drive it anywhere I want. And who knows what all kind of craziness people would start doing if they knew that a planet was actually gonna destroy us all. They'd try to find the bunkers too, and they'll have so many people guarding those places. If it were me, I would, once they're good and in there, I would find their biological laboratories, and I'd find their vials that they've been making this whole time, and then I'd get some blankets like the Indians, like what they did to the Indians, and then put the smallpox and stuff on the blankets, and then put those down in their ventilation pipes to their bunker. I'm just kidding. I wouldn't do that. Oh, but they are going to get judged. God is in charge of revenge. Hi, Chris. Okay, yeah, just keep saying the alphabet of all those. I'm not gonna even like give it much thought, because it's just sickening. But these are like the days of Noah, you know. People were doing all kind of stuff during Sodom and Gomorrah and all that too. God judges people for that stuff. There were 3 police officers shot during a pursuit in Buffalo, New York. Injuries appear to be non-life threatening. Multiple suspects are in custody. So that was yesterday. 3 police officers shot. So God bless our police officers. Lord, keep them safe. Logs turned over to the House of Representatives panel investigating the attack showed no calls placed to or by Trump between 11:17 a.m. and 6:54 p.m. while his supporters violently riot at the Capitol.
White House records show a gap of more than 7 hours in former President Donald Trump's official phone calls the day of the deadly January 6, 2021 attack on the U.S. Capitol. That's according to a report out Tuesday by The Washington Post and CBS. The news outlets reported logs obtained by congressional investigators probing the attack showed no calls placed to or by Trump between 11:17 a.m. and 6:54 p.m.
Take that house! Take it now!
During that window, Trump supporters smashed windows and fought their way through police to get inside the U.S. Capitol in an effort to prevent lawmakers from certifying the results of the 2020 presidential election. According to the Post and CBS, 11 pages of records turned over to lawmakers showed Trump talked to at least 8 people by phone before the gap and 11 afterward. Representatives for the committee and Trump could not be immediately reached for comment on the report, but public reporting revealed Trump was in communication with allies as the violent siege was underway. House Republican leader Kevin McCarthy last year described talking to Trump during the riot, saying he urged the president to call off his supporters and accept his defeat. And during that gap, Trump repeatedly posted false claims about election fraud to Twitter. The revelation comes a day after a U.S. federal judge wrote that Trump, quote, more likely than not, committed a felony by trying to pressure his vice president to obstruct Congress and overturn his election defeat. That opinion came as part of a ruling that Trump's former lawyer, John Eastman,
all gonna
must
come
turn
out.
over emails with the former president to congressional investigators.
Just remember, who has said what on there. They lie. It's all gonna come out eventually. I watched hours and hours of that on the day that it happened live and recorded. It was at least 6 hours, and then I did the Stop the Steal, 2 different days where they did Stop the Steal with Alex Jones and everything. So, I mean, there were probably 6 or 7 live streams going all at once that I had on my screen. So, I mean, I was watching what was happening. There were some people that infiltrated it, but for the most part, it was, just patriotic people out there. They make it out to be something that it's not. That's all. All right. Haitians protest against insecurity. Some attack a plane. Port-au-Prince, Haiti. Haitians on Tuesday took to the streets to protest over increasing insecurity, turning violent in places. So, a lot of 100% of the people in Haiti are they are into voodoo. That's what I heard one time. So here's some pictures about Haiti protesting. So, I give a lot of them the benefit of the doubt just because of, what I saw in America. And a lot of times people will burn tires and things like that. And I mean, the whole world is just, it's getting bad. It's getting bad everywhere. Let's see what it says about the airplane. I can get rid of this. A plane burns after being set on fire by demonstrators protesting increasing violence at the Antoine Simon Descays Airport in Les Cayes, Haiti, Tuesday, March 29th. The protest coincides with the 35th anniversary of 1987 Constitution and follows other protests and strikes in recent weeks in the middle of a spike in gang-related kidnappings. Nice plane. That's too bad. Look at that. It's on fire. I'm going to take a picture of that. Look at them all standing on it. Just checking to see if they had a video. Okay, Clarence Thomas, greatest living justice and one of the greatest public servants in America. You guys remember that video I played the other day where they were giving him a hard time?
The only thing I will say, Clarence Thomas, greatest living justice and one of the greatest public servants in America. The only thing I will say, Clarence Thomas.
Hope he's okay. He was in the hospital for a few days. Was being sick, but I don't know. All right, this is a fight that broke out. It's kind of loud. I turned it down a little bit for you, but it's still loud, okay?
Bueno, caralho. Bueno, caralho. Bueno. Vem cá.
So people are just violent now, Threw a chair and it ring around her neck. So here's the storm that's going on right now. Let's just check on it. Let's check and see if there's any tornado warnings. I have a weather.com up here. There's where it's at now. So it's in Alabama mostly right now. Or it's, you know, right there. That's where it's at. It's right there right now. So it's in Alabama. In the panhandle of Florida. Let's see if there's any tornado. There was a EF2 3 hours ago. This one's 2 minutes. Unless it starts giving me a hard time. It's not going to do it. Just stuck. Look at that. Can't even hit play. They're just making it hard on everybody. So I'll just wait till there's, you know, something on Twitter. We'll see. See if there's any. Okay, there was one an hour ago. Tamsuba, Mississippi. Nine minutes ago. Alabama. So it's in Alabama now, these tornadoes. Several in Alabama. Lots of them. I mean, they're really popping off in Alabama. Bam, bam, bam. Bama. They're not sure which ones are hit because it's dark. These first responders are going to be busy tonight. The wind has just been, you know, crazy. Takes a lot of sifting through stuff to find something good, you know. Well, I'm sure tomorrow when the sun comes out, there'll be a lot of stuff. Flooding. I don't know. There wasn't a whole lot of flooding. It was more wind and tornadoes. Here's a pretty good one. It shows the tornadoes right here. Look at them all. Mississippi got hit hard. Now it's into Alabama. Heads up. All right, Alex Jones explains how the New World Order destroys nations. Not probably allowed to watch that. This is when Matt puts the hard drive into
3 years.
Sir, I'm not.
As the assistant director of FBI Cyber, as to where the lab.
Okay, so the people, the judge or whatever, the main person up there, Nadler, he's like being told stuff. Watch the end of this.
Laptop is, whether or not it's a point of vulnerability, whether or not the American people should wonder whether or not the first family is compromised.
Sir, I'd be happy to take your request back to our office.
Gosh, I mean, will you advocate for that briefing? As an, you will?
I will be happy to take your request back to FBI headquarters.
Well, do you believe that that is a briefing that the Congress is worthy of having, I guess?
Sir, I'm not going to answer that question. Right? I'm here to talk. The invitation, the invitation says oversight of the FBI's cyber division. It does not say anything.
Well, right, but I mean, this is a cyber asset. This is a point of vulnerability. If there are passwords, if there are business deals, if there are references to things that could harm our country, like you can't even sit here right now and say that you know that there's not a point of vulnerability. Maybe there are other crimes, maybe there are tax issues or whatever, but as it relates to our, I mean, is the first family sufficient cyber infrastructure to protect? You don't even know if they're compromised. Tell you what, Mr. Chairman, I seek unanimous consent to enter into the record of this committee the contents of Hunter Biden's laptop, which I'm in possession of.
He has it. Okay, now look. See those two people? There's a lady.
There's no objection to that.
They're kind of freaking out a little bit. His hands are all over the place. Doing this.
So I can't say no objection.
You can't say no objection.
I've never had.
I will object pending further investigation.
And what's the basis of that objection?
It's a unanimous consent request, and I object pending.
Well, I have a subsequent question. Mr. Chairman, I seek unanimous consent to enter into the record the receipt.
It may very well be
from the Mac shop.
It may very well be entered into the record after we look at it further.
Very well, Mr. Chairman, I have a subsequent unanimous consent.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Mr. Chairman, I seek unanimous consent to enter into the record the receipt from the Department of Justice.
Mr. Chairman, this is Ms.
to the
Deming.
Mac shop.
Am I next, or am I next?
Without objection.
Can I be next? Can I be next? Can we move on now? Can we stop this guy from doing this? Because we're all going to get in trouble, probably. Oh, this is pretty good stuff right here. I don't know if this is something like real or what, but it's kind of funny. How you guys doing over there in the chat room? I'm hot too, Daisy. I'm like sweating over here. I'm going to turn the fan on. I'm sorry. I'm hot too. I hear you panting. Oops, that's light. Okay. It's hot. It's hot in here. Should we open the door? Get some fresh air? How about that? Here. Let me pull this down. Yeah. It's windy. Oh, that's nice. Okay. There we go. That's nice. Oh, fresh air. It's so windy out. Yes, please like and subscribe. Okay, yeah, we're going to play Putin here. Let's not go online for a week. We got to want to be a good way to get some things done around here. You just canceled Disney, Chris? Let a young child watch Disney alone anymore. Yeah, it's getting weird, isn't it? Oh, they're coming out with a new Harry Potter. Kind of scary. Okay, here is this Putin video. Hello, my friends in Australia. I know your Western leaders are saying I've gone crazy. Doesn't anybody know that this guy is off with the pixies? I don't think he's really saying this, is he? I don't know. And just across the Atlantic from Crazy Joe, you have this lunatic that we find amusing. Boris Johnson. Quite clearly, he is unbalanced, literally crazy. While he locked down most of Britain, he went partying with his crazy friends. That's what we call crazy. But your crazy leaders don't end there. You have another nutcase who wants to send young people to prison for smoking a cigarette. Australians should be wary of what this crazy NZ woman will do next. Now keep in mind, I am called a dictator by Western leaders with an imperialistic ideology. Now take a look at the Canadian Prime Minister and consider this. This man froze the bank accounts of protesters who didn't agree with him.
Россия будет последовательно доводить свою позицию до всего мира.
Look at him. He looks like a gremlin or something. You should be more scared of this guy than worrying about me attacking your country.
Они будут пытаться делать ставку на так называемую пятую колонну.
Don't just take my word for it. Here's the leader of a superpower calling for his mama.
By the way, where's Mom? Mom, is she here? Oh, she's watching. Okay, I thought you looked. I said, Mom is out there. I was going to ask her to stand up, but Mom, you can't stand up if you're home.
Specifically, the way your government has raised the price of petrol is an economic scam. Here, we only pay 58 cents per liter. So you should ask your government who is making money out of this scam. It's a simple question. Why not ask? Is it because of Russia? No, it's because the globalists put sanctions on Russian oil, and that raised the price of your petrol. But they just want to pass the blame off on someone else, basically to fool you. At this time, I like to talk about the most incredibly sinister leader. The totally creepy Prime Minister of Australia. Wow. He is creepy. Surely you must remember, while Australia was being devastated by bushfires, He just didn't care. He went on
И не
vacation.
буду скрывать, они будут непростыми. Приведут
He was in Hawaii drinking cream de menthe and dancing with the
к
girls.
временному росту инфляции и безработицы. В этой
Which of us is crazy, me
ситуации
or
наша
your
задача
leaders?
минимизировать подобные
I think
риски.
you're all
Мы
crazy.
понимаем,
We understand you've been told that we have an imperial
каким ресурсом
ideology.
обладает эта империя лжи. Но против
Now I want you to understand something very
правды и
serious.
справедливости она все равно бессильна.
That this man, this crazy geriatric
Россия
lunatic,
будет последовательно доводить свою позицию до всего мира. Во многих западных странах людей только за то, что будет последовательно доводить свою позицию до всего мира.
gave this man nuclear submarines and he doesn't even know his name. We're in trouble. We're in big trouble. We all have crazy leaders. All around the world are crazy. Alright, this was another video about the third terror attack in Israel that happened today. Well, this week, but this one happened today. Wait, that's really loud. I don't want to bust your eardrums. I hate those lights. Those lights are like, police lights are like, they'll mesh with your head. Truth against Fauci's fourth vaccine shot by Dr. Joel S. Holmes. The sword of truth is coming for Fauci. New Israeli hospital study shows his words are lies. On this issue of the fourth required injection, there is an actual scientific weapon at hand for us to fight back, to help deal with Fauci. This is on America Out Loud. Okay, so if you want to read this, you can. I can put a link in the description, or I mean in the chat room, if anybody wants it. How's everybody doing? Hi, Serbian. You changed your name? Sacred Serbian. Do you know Jesus changed people's names? He gave people a new name, like Saul turned into Paul. There is hope at the end of the tunnel, for sure, Serbian. It's called that tunnel you go to when you die, and you get to go to heaven. Faith, hope, and love. That's what remains. So if we do those things right now, well, you got to know Jesus too. But I got to sneeze. Is there another one? No, just that one. All right. So, yeah, faith, hope, and love. Keeps doing those things because those things get to go. That's the only thing you get to take with you. You don't get to take your clothes. You don't get to take your dogs. But your dogs will be there when they die. You don't get to take your favorite food. You don't get to take... Really, you don't get to take anybody with you. But they'll go too if they know Jesus. I know, it's kind of basic stuff. But hey, faith, hope, and love. Those are the three things that remain. You've been going through a crisis. Uh-oh. Did you get your car? Are we in a tunnel? I thought it was a bomb shelter. What are you talking about? Did I miss something up there? I missed a lot, probably. Sorry to hear that, Serbian. I'll keep you in my prayers. Yeah, Serbian, we pray that you are, you get through it. When you go through a crisis, you're just going through. You're not staying in it or anything like that. Going through it, and you come out the other side. Oh, every time you see this channel go live, it makes your day. That's so sweet. Thank you. I appreciate that. Well, I like doing it, and I like seeing you guys in here because that makes it worthwhile. Really, really makes it worthwhile to share what I find with people. I really like doing that. I know I've gotten that other funny video coming. Okay, so whenever there's a terror attack, they always like give treats. So these are the type of treats that they give out when they do kill people. The current U.S. government is feloniously corrupt. We are in for a crash from hell. Yes, indeed. That's for sure. So this one was, I thought this one was from yesterday, or from, sorry, that was like really loud. I'll turn it down. I think this was number 2. I think this one was from number 2. This one was in central Israel. A mall in Ramat Gan. So this was number 2. There was 3 altogether. Okay, rebels in Democratic Republic of Congo's east shoot down a United Nations helicopter carrying 8 peacekeepers and UN observers. So the rebels in the Congo shot down a UN helicopter with 8 people inside. They were killed. Don't know if it'll have anything over here. Just look at. They shot it down. Let's see.
A major boost. The Democratic Republic of the Congo joined the EAC on Tuesday. Its addition will provide member countries access to maritime routes to Europe and the Americas via ports along the Atlantic Ocean. The DRC is a $50 billion economy and has a population of about 90 million people. So its inclusion in the pact will boost the EAC's market from its current size of about $194 billion. The country is also a member of other regional trade pacts, including the Southern African Development Community and the Common Market for Eastern and Southern Africa. And analysts say it could help improve coordination between these groups, paving the way for closer economic ties across the continent. For more on this now, let's go to Agnes Gitau, GBS Africa Managing Partner and a board member of the Eastern Africa Association. They're now preparing the ground for its 3rd pillar, right? Its monetary union as well.
Where's the helicopter?
How will it work? Can you help us understand that?
This hasn't.
Again, an opportunity, opening it for opportunities for trade.
This was supposed to be about the helicopter. It's not about the helicopter. I'm sorry about that. So, we lost 8 United Nations peacekeepers in the Congo because they shot down a helicopter. Russian ammo depot in Belgorod Oblast has exploded tonight. We watched that one. I think I went over this one too. A 5th casualty was proclaimed dead after being evacuated in Belenson Hospital in critical condition. 5 killed. Oh, okay, this was the shooting in Israel. There was 5 people killed. A new wave of terror. So this is the third in 1 week. Okay. Here's the one. This is the third one. Yeah. I knew I had another. So that was just, the sirens. All right, this is a large fire that breaks out in Israel industrial zone in the Jordan Valley. Look at that. Wow. That's one big, huge flaming fire in the industrial zone in Jordan Valley. Wow. Oh, this is hilarious. Okay, you ready for your intermission? This is funny. In a way, because you know what it's from. But, I mean, it's sad in a way, but it's also funny in a way.
Bueno, en cuanto a las demandas y a las demandas. 모습을 나타내면서
kararına İstanbul Pendik Milli Eğitim
있고 bez njega ne 333 041 ja se izvinjavam.
Alles okay, wollen Sie gleich ans Expertentelefon gehen, Herr Ohm? Um Gottes Willen.
That's so bad, isn't that bad? So bad. Smelly shoes. We know what it really is. Okay, maybe that's bad of me to have that sort of sense of humor. I thought it was great. Oh, all right. Death toll in Israel terror attack updated to 4. 5 was the terrorist. Number 5 was the terrorist. The army ordered to alleviate readiness in the West Bank. PM Bennett conveys emergency session with defense chiefs tonight. So, okay, we already watched this. The hard drive is entered into the congressional record, and these people with their handsies, like, they're freaking out. But that's like, it's for public consumption if we get to hear about it. So I don't know. All right, this is the first footage from the Palestinian terrorists hunting down Jews and shooting them on site, killing at least 5 innocent Israelis. So this was the 3rd terror attack again. Wrong place there, buddy. Wrong place, wrong time. Oh. I guess it's just random. Like, they're just, like, killing people. 5 innocent people. And then here's where the cops come and... Do you guys ever think about if maybe the 5G could cause like some sort of MK Ultra thing with the people that got the you know what? I think I showed all those. Okay, let's see what this guy says.
For Disney to come out and put a statement and say that the bill should have never passed and that they are going to actively work to repeal it, I think one was fundamentally dishonest, but two, I think that crossed the line. This state is governed by the interests of the people of the state of Florida. It is not based on the demands of California corporate executives. They do not run this state. They do not control this state. For Disney to come out and put a state...
California corporate executives are coming down on him. Okay, initial reports of shooting in Tel Aviv, multiple injuries. Let's see, FDA emergency use of second booster, the fourth injection of Pfizer and Moderna mRNA vaccine for people 50 years of age and older. So number 4 has now been approved. Even after all of the things that have come out about it, they're still going forward. And they'll keep going forward with it, no matter what is told. Because it will take years for, I guess you call it like litigation or something like that. A way of like, holding Pfizer accountable for what they did. And we still haven't heard like who released the bioweapon. Current U.S. government, okay, we said that. Male cat outside trying to breed one of the outside female cats. Oh, I hate that for you, Serbian. I know what that's like. Yeah, my boy is fixed, so I don't have to hear that stuff. I hate that though. It just sounds like something like screaming. Terrible. But that's nature. That's what my mom would say. Oh, that's just nature. Don't you worry about that. Okay, Russian troops are withdrawing from Kiev. I don't believe that. But it's saying this is from Israeli sources. Not that I don't believe oh my
You're not
gosh.
going to take me seriously.
This is it. This is the one. You guys are going to love this.
But you guys are going to sit here and you're not going to take me seriously. You're going to laugh at me. I'm trying to compete. And yes, I was born a boy. So what? Guys, this is 2022. It doesn't matter what you were born. We have Ketanji Brown Jackson even says she doesn't even know what a woman is. So then I'm a woman. So that's what you guys have to do. If the Supreme Court justice is on my side, then why can't I get the same from the Plano City Council? That's the problem, is I come here and I'm still a victim of transphobia. Yet we have champions like my girl Leah, my sister, and she gets to win, but I don't. Why not? That's what I'm asking you. Why not? Why can't I swim against the ladies? Why are we having a transphobic world where I just want to compete against the ladies? Why are you saying that I'm not a biological woman? Clearly, I look like a biological woman. I mean, come on. It's been hours tucking this thing in. Give me a break. I should be able to swim. And I'm on so much hormone therapy, I don't even know left or right anymore. So I'm doing this. I don't have an unfair advantage. No way. So I need you guys to stand up. We have a city issue, Rick, and we can actually fix this and let me compete against the ladies. I'm sick of these women. Oh, you're having an unfair advantage. Yeah, right. And I'm mentally ill, and they won't even let me compete in the Special Olympics. So go figure. Think about that. I can't compete in the Special Olympics, and I can't compete against women. What kind of bigotry is that? Are you guys going to let that stand? I wouldn't let that stand. If I were y'all, I would stand up for me, because in the future, they're going to write these in the history books, and they're going to have to decide what side Plano is on. Were they transphobes? Or were they trans positive? And obviously, I'm trans positive. So that's what I want. I want you guys to wake up to what's going on in the world and tell the City of Plano Swim League to let me compete against the ladies. I've been on hormone blockers for nearly 2 weeks now. And like I said, I'm so messed up from them, I'm probably going to lose anyway. But I can send that tape to a college and I might get a scholarship, Julie. So don't look at me with your eyes looking at me all mean. I'm out here trying to change for you. This is women's rights. I'm standing up for women's rights. Thank you. It's Primetime Stein on Instagram if you guys want to learn how to swim against the ladies. Thank y'all so much.
The City of Plano and this council take the opportunity to hear from our citizens very seriously.
I love that. I just want to put it on my videos. Okay, hold on 1 second. I got one other one to put on my videos for a second. Hold on. Bear with me, okay? Because this one was this one was for Abrahamic Accords. Right here. Was it? Oh no, that's the one that I don't really care about that one. Shoot, I lost the other one that I wanted. Okay, hold on. Let me save this one. I got one here for funny somewhere. Stupid and hilarious. There we go. I like that guy. He's funny. All right. Our military is growing weaker. Army discharges more soldiers for refusing COVID shot. Army discharges more soldiers. So they're still getting rid of people at the Defense Department amid the exposure of Defense Department data. Oh yeah, watch this Pope, or not a Pope, he's a priest. Watch this priest when he does this baby. What the? He could, like, what if he was to, like, bang his head or something on the rim on accident? Like, if he was to, like, accidentally go forward, or even just, like, slamming that baby into, like, its legs into the bottom of that bowl. That baby's big enough to get its feet stubbed, or whatever you call it. Oh, I just wanted to get around my hands around that neck of that guy. All right. Okay, that was so hard to watch. All right, ISIS in Mozambique is beheading children, reports say. The Jerusalem Post. Look at this. One mother told the agency she had to watch as her 12-year-old son was killed in this way, close to where she was hiding with her other children. ISIS-linked extremists are reportedly beheading children in Mozambique, the BBC claimed on Wednesday. The global jihadist movement has largely been defeated in the Middle East, but the genocide Islamic extremism that it once sought to bring to Iraq and Syria is now being carried out in areas in Africa. For many years, various groups linked to Al-Qaeda or Islamic extremists percolated across in Somalia. They have now spread down to Mozambique and its Cabo Delgado region. And then those people, they make it to South America and they come into America. So just saying. One mother told the agency she had to watch as her 12-year-old son was killed in this way, to where she was hiding with her other children. More than 2,500 people have been killed and 700,000 have fled their homes since an Islamic insurgency began in 2017. The reports do not say why people are being beheaded. Boko Haram has targeted Christians and also Muslims in mosques in its campaign. ISIS also slaughtered Sunni Muslim Bedouin tribes and massacred Shiites before it turned its attention. Gee whiz. Are you okay, X? What the heck? You okay, buddy? That wasn't Daisy at all.
What you stop?
That was the other dog.
What?
I'm live. If you want to see it. I can.
What just happened?
Daisy was right here. X and oh, I want to cry.
Asthma attack? Oh.
Does Dad have the dog into his room?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know whether to let go of Daisy or not.
Daisy that started it again?
No, Daisy was right here the whole time.
It wouldn't be the first time she started it.
Daisy was right here the whole time.
She gets jealous like super easy.
It was X and Boomer.
Oh, well, of course it was X.
Yep.
X starts fights all the time.
Alright.
Little brat. Your aloe plant is out of its pot.
Well, they just knocked it over.
It seems
Oh boy. Ah. Well, that was fun, guys. Well, you got to have a little violence. All right. The children between the 5th and 8th grade were first reported lost at around 7 p.m. on Monday. This was at the Dead Sea. 42 school children missing near Dead Sea were located. Rescuers on the way. Drones were initially able to locate part of the group, but not all of the children. They eventually were all located and rescue forces headed out. But that was near the Dead Sea in Israel. Wow. Okay, the court fears January 6th will repeat itself. A judge raises a warning flag, a big one. This is about January 6th.
It's Scott McClellan at the Capitol. Here we are, 15 months, roughly, since the U.S. Capitol riot. And one of the most striking, provocative, and telling things we've heard a judge say about the investigation was said today. But it wasn't said here in Washington. It was said by a federal judge in California, who ruled today that John Eastman, the attorney and the advisor to the Trump White House in the final days of the Trump administration, must turn over dozens of email records to the House Select January 6 committee here at the Capitol. Eastman's attorney, in a statement late today, says Eastman intends to comply. But it wasn't that narrow ruling on that narrow issue that was so striking. It's what the judge said in his opinion. The judge said in so many words that the public is searching for accountability for January 6th, and that without accountability, the court fears January 6th could repeat itself. The judge also said it's more likely than not that Trump tried to block the official congressional proceedings. The judge used the phrase coup. The judge used the phrase end the peaceful transfer of power if the plans succeeded before January 6th. Particularly striking language. And the judge is giving voice to any number of Americans who believe at this moment, despite there being 770 plus federal defendants, that there has not been accountability for January 6th, and that without accountability, there is a fear January 6th could recur. This isn't the first time we've read or heard a nudge from a federal judge or a message from a federal judge of this sort. We've heard federal judges here in D.C. lend voice, unequivocal voice, to their concern about the low-level plea agreements the Justice Department has been cutting in some January 6 cases, unlawful picketing and parading. The judges expressing fear that those plea deals don't provide the proper deterrence to a recurrence of January 6th. It's unclear at all if these words from judges move the meter with the U.S. Justice Department, but it certainly lends voice to the criticisms and concerns of any number of Americans.
I just heard blah, blah, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Shh.
Hey, it's Scott.
Okay. I think I just figured it out. Good. I can sleep now. That was going to bug me until I solved the puzzle. Did the globalists just flinch on Russian sanctions in order to keep something? Something odd is happening in the background of the G7 energy minister's announcement earlier today. These people, let's look at them. Let's get a closer look at these people. Here's Bill Gates. I don't know who that one is or that one. That's John Kerry. Is that Joe Biden? It is, isn't it? Is it? I can't tell. I think it is. United Nations Climate Change. I haven't been looking at this to see what they're up to because I kind of know what they're up to. I kind of just know that they're getting ready to shut off our energy and they're trying to kill us. Here they are. There's Justin Trudeau. He needs to be like right there. His flag's Canada. They're not standing by their own flags. Because there's Boris. He's sitting by the American flag. Macron of France. This one's the CSTO flag. I don't know. That guy looks kind of maybe South Korean, maybe? I don't know. I don't know who all these people are. Maybe Australia's in there. I think that one might be the Australian flag. I don't know. I could be wrong. I don't know all the flags yet. But yeah, they're gonna keep making our energy go higher and higher because they're trying to get the carbon down to zero. What you need carbon. That's life. Carbon is life. Uh-oh. X. Look in the mirror over here. Cat. That's my cat right now. That's my cat right now. Oh, man. Did you see that? Never mind. Oh, man. Good timing. All right, Ukraine war. More Russian mercenaries headed to Ukraine as Russian attack stall, says MOD. So they're still sending more people into Ukraine. There's Bolsonaro. He seemed like there was hope for him when he sat down with the WHO guy and everything. And he was trying to keep, like, he was against the you-know-what. I think he's on board now. But he was taken to the hospital on Monday after feeling discomfort. So, I don't know. Only God knows. Okay, there was a large fire North Hanover Mall in Hanover, Pennsylvania. So, bye-bye mall. Or, you know, whatever stores. You okay, buddy? Are you cross-eyed now? You alright? You okay? I'm all worried. I'm very worried. Are you okay? Alright. Might have to give that dog to the pound. Okay, this was about Iran. We'll just watch a minute of it.
Welcome to the 700 Club, and thanks so much for joining us. It's Alopecia Awareness Day, and everyone is talking about what happened last night. So I've got to ask, did you see it?
I did. I actually wasn't watching it live, but somebody sent me the clip.
And that's because you don't have cable television.
That's because I don't have cable television.
And
unfortunately, I was trying to watch.
Okay,
in the making. But it also provides an opportunity for Arab nations to join with Israel in expressing to the U.S. their opposition to the Iranian nuclear deal. An agreement endorsed by U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken here in Jerusalem.
The United States believes that a return to full implementation of the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action is the best way to put Iran's nuclear program back in the box that it was in, but has escaped from since the United States withdrew from that agreement.
Israel's Foreign Minister Yair Lapid emphasized Israel will do what it takes to stop Iran.
From our point of view, the Iranian threat is not theoretical. The Iranians want to destroy Israel. They will not succeed. We will not let them.
Israeli Prime Minister Naftali Bennett, who tested positive for COVID after his meeting with Blinken, raised a major concern about the Iranian nuclear deal.
We're concerned about the intention to delist the IRGC, the Islamic Revolutionary Guards Corps. Their proxy, the Houthis, just this weekend carried out a horrific attack on Saudi Arabia. I hope the United States will hear the concerned voices from the region, Israel's and others, on this very important issue.
Oren says the nuclear deal in 2022 will be worse than the original 2015 agreement.
The fact of the matter is the Iranians managed to get pretty much everything they want. But they'll get a nuclear program that will enable them to retain their nuclear infrastructure, to develop intercontinental ballistic delivery systems. It will probably say nothing about the warheads. Basically, this will buy some time, maybe at most 4 years, on one part of the Iranian nuclear program, which is the enrichment program. And after those 4 years, Iran will be in the position to enrich enough uranium for hundreds of bombs. I am certain that this deal will put Israel and the Middle East on the path to a regional conflict.
Oren and others point out the deal will also give billions of dollars in sanctions relief to Iran that could spread its terror activities throughout the region. How Israel and these Arab nations at today's summit plan to confront Iran may well determine the future of the Middle East. Chris Mitchell, CBN News, Jerusalem.
Well, I hope the administration can pull back from this and that Iran doesn't get what is currently on the table and doesn't get the ability to develop a nuclear weapon. That is a complete game changer for peace in the Middle East. I think it's absolutely clear that they would use it, and they would use it against Tel Aviv. Tel Aviv and Israel, they're called the little Satan. Guess who's the big Satan? Well, you and I, right here in the United States, where we're considered the great Satan that has put all these horrible things out in the world, and they feel fully justified in using whatever weapons they have to attack us. So let's hope our State Department listens to what they've actually said and also what they've actually done.
They're gonna end up nuking Iran. I'm just saying, that's biblical. So listen to what Joe Biden says here. He says this out of his own mouth. I didn't get a chance to see any of confirmation hearing.
And did you get any chance to watch much of the Judiciary Committee hearings?
I didn't get a chance to see any of it, unfortunately.
The president watched portions of Judge Jackson's hearing yesterday and today, and is proud of the way she is showcasing her extraordinary qualifications, her experience, and her even-handedness. Her dedication to following the facts, the law, and our Constitution as an independent judge is clear. He was also moved by the grace and dignity she has shown, the deference to senators, and the level of detail she is offering, reinforcing the value of her experience, her intellect, and the strength of her character.
And he didn't see any of it at all. He just said he didn't see it. And this guy's over here saying his comments about it. That is so ridiculous. Oh man, here's Mark Dice. So I got another good one, guys. It's pretty funny.
Thank you. I'm Professor Mark Dice. I teach gender studies at California State University, and my colleagues and I across the country have been making tremendous progress in shattering the gender binary. We've introduced, as you know, a growing list of over 57 different gender identities. Many people don't know which gender they want to be. It's an extremely creative process. The reason I'm here is obviously the college students, young adults, their minds still fairly malleable. But we've seen the Don't Say Gay bill being passed in Florida. And if we're going to truly succeed in the New World Order, we're going to have to reach the younger children. And maybe on a local level, we could start with introducing ordinances to ban even identifying anyone as a gender at all. And if we can stop referring to the children as just boys, girls, he's or she's, until they're old enough to decide, perhaps then we can complete let's just be honest here, the Marxist revolution. We can get to the point where a lot of us can shed the label of a Democrat and just openly admit that we are Marxists. Repealing the First Amendment on a national level may be a little bit difficult, but we've seen surveys conducted on the Oceanside Pier that there are a lot of people that are willing to accept that. So we're just recommending the Bilderberg Group, think tank, some of our associates, World Economic Forum are recommending that on local levels we prevent the gendering of children at all. As you know, children will believe virtually anything at a young age. They believe that a man in a red suit flies around and brings presents to them every Christmas. And if we can convince them that there is no such thing as gender, that boys can be girls, girls can be boys, that men can get pregnant, that women can have external genitals, penises, then I think that we'll be able to really succeed in what it is that we're trying to do here. We're going to have to start reaching the children on a younger level. And again, by the time a lot of these students reach college, many of them are set in their ways. Some of them are watching Tucker Carlson, other YouTubers.
Thank you very much, sir.
And
Thank you.
For more, subscribe to the Mark Dice YouTube channel.
That's it.
For
Thank
more
you.
Information.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I'm Professor.
Great. And the green hair just, topped it off. Okay, the prisoners of Ukrainian forces took during recent counterattacks in Sumy did look like they were separatist fighters, not regular Russian soldiers, based on their equipment. A possible indication Russia may be freeing up Russian military units for operations in the JFO. They're saying that they've been sent to Ukraine region as cannon fodder.
Знаете правду. Министерство обороны РФ о нас понятия не имеет, что мы здесь делаем. Нас кидают в жопу.
Нас незаконно завезли в Российскую Федерацию. Ночами возили. С оружием, без документов, без нихуя.
I just skipped through it real quick because we can't understand that.
Podcast.
Okay, this is Jamie Raskin. These two men are in contempt of Congress, and we must cite them both for their brazen disregard of their duties and for our laws and institutions.
And he makes noises about the next insurrection. A year after the election was over, he said, if they want an insurrection, they keep pushing this, they're going to push the American people over the freaking edge. Mr. Chairman, Madam Vice Chair, the American people opposed the January 6th insurrection, and the American people oppose future insurrections and coups against our government. We are fighting to defend the institutions and values of democracy at home against coup plotters and insurrectionists, and we are supporting other democracies around the world under siege by autocrats and kleptocrats, bullies and despots. We are on the side of the people of Ukraine against Vladimir Putin, who is not a genius, but a mass murderer. And we stand strong on the side of democracy, freedom, the Constitution, and the rule of law against people who smashed our police officers in the face with Confederate battle flags and tried to cancel out the results of our presidential election. These two men are in contempt of Congress, and we must cite them both for their brazen disregard for their duties and for our laws and our institutions.
This clip is for all the haters of our peace in the East and in the West. This is very powerful. I'm not sure if we can understand it, though.
It's new for, I think, Abdul Latif.
Okay, yeah, he's speaking in English.
It's new for, I think, Abdul Latif and Nasser and myself to be in Israel. This is our first time. So if we are curious sometimes and we want to know things and learn, it's because although Israel has been part of this region for a very long time and we've not known each other. So it's time to catch up, to build on a stronger relationship. When I see 300,000 Israelis visiting the UAE in the last year and a half, but at the same time I see 2 million visitors visiting the Israeli Pavilion and Expo in only the last 6 months, it says how curious and how much we want to know each other. And this is what I think goes against what happened yesterday. It's by us standing together, it's by our people-to-people relationship, it's by creating a better environment for our businesses to work with each other. That's the way we can go after the narrative of hate, of incitement, of terror. We will prevail, no doubt.
So I think this has to do with the peace deal. Okay. So they got the UAE there, they got the United States, they got Israel, they got I don't remember what the other one was. This guy right here, I'm not sure who that is. This was that car accident. I think we're back to yesterday's. All right, we got through all that, guys. Thanks so much for coming and watching. Hope that you enjoyed the fun ones. And it wasn't really, I mean, besides the storms and what's going on in Ukraine, and there's really, I mean, there's some crazy people, like that lady. There was one that, I don't know about what the dead baby in the bathroom at McDonald's was, and that other lady that stabbed and said it was Elmo, or what was it, SpongeBob? SpongeBob told her to kill her kid. Oh my gosh. Like, people are losing it. The animals are losing it. Poor kitty. Are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? Tell the people you're okay. He's purring. So let's see what Serbian says. Went into a bad depression. Oh, I'm sorry. Crazy pack rat, man. Why if they drive me crazy too? Get together. Watch the news with Christy. Hope you're doing well midday. What state are you guys in? This is... you took it down. I miss tuning carburetors. Running around on cheap gas. Well, Serbian, I appreciate you being here, and I pray that you have a better weekend. Hope that God will show you great and mighty things this weekend. Just draw near to Him and let Him heal your heart, because He's the chain breaker. He's a chain breaker. If you need something. If you need, he's a chain breaker. If you got pain, he's a pain taker. If you need freedom, a savior, he's a something. I can't remember the words. He thought we were playing a pit bull, and no, that dog that was freaking out wasn't the pit bull. It was the other one, the boxer. He's got a thing about cats. He don't like cats, or I don't know, something triggers him with cats. Oh yeah, the dogs are completely wore out from today. And it's windy. There's like all these weird noises going on outside, things banging around out there. Lots of trees out there and stuff. Hear that? Did you hear that? That's the neighbor's cover, like where they park their car. And whenever it's real windy like that, it goes bang. It's really loud. Should have bought more burnt almond fudge ice cream. Oh my gosh, that sounds good. Well, guys, that's all I got for today. So I appreciate you coming, and I hope you have a good evening. Get some good rest. And tomorrow, God's mercies are new every morning. He is faithful. So tomorrow's Thursday, and then that's the end of March. So then we got April Fool's Day. Somebody's going to get tricked, and it's not going to be me, but I might pull something. I love you guys. Thank you for coming. Don't forget to like, and if you've just got here and you've never seen this weirdo before, make you subscribe. Make sure you subscribe. I'm getting tired. Do you like my butterfly? My little picture? It's got that you can be transformed into a new creature. You don't have to be a transgender. You can be transformed into a new creature. Old things pass away and all things become new. I loved those funny videos today. God bless you all. Thank you again for coming. I bless you.